and we are on the day 5 of our district training of teachers on learning management system. Today is our last day of our 5 days webinar in LMS. And with that, we are very grateful to all the people behind the success of this training. But before that, please do not forget to sign in your attendance. So our attendance link is now on your screen. Once again, controller, please, our attendance link. Our attendance link is now on screen. Hello, controller. Are we in already? Shout out muna tayo. Good morning, teachers of Carmen District. Konting kembot na lang. Congrats to everyone behind this training. That was from Ma'am Jane Pangs Iturma. This time, another shout out from, I think we have the trouble of our internet connection. So let us proceed to our shout out. Shout out po tayo sa lahat ng teachers sa Carmen Central Elementary School SPED Center. Especially to my grade 5 family and SPED family, and headed by our school head, Ma'am Teresita B. Butalid. This time, let us have our attendance link, controller. Let us have our attendance link. Hello, Ma'am Michelle.
Hello, Ma'am Irene, and good morning to all our Carmen District teachers, school heads, and of course, our very own I Love Carmen, Sir Nolly.
All right. Hello, kumusta, Ma'am Michelle?
Okay lang, Ma'am Irene. Even meron tayong a little bit, internet connection problem, pero tuloy pa rin, di ba, Ma'am Ai?
Yes, laban lang, laban lang. This time, all right. This time, let us have our attendance link. Our attendance link. Our day 5 attendance link for this morning. Ayan, our attendance link. So don't forget to screenshot, take picture, take note of our attendance link. It will be opened later. Today is our day 5. Tapos nagloko yung internet. Okay lang yan, laban pa rin. Again, yan. Again, our attendance link is now on your screen. So reminders, our attendance link will be opened later. This time, let us have our Katami link or our evaluation link. Ayan. Once again, don't forget to submit your evaluation. So once again, that was our evaluation link. So on your screen now is our evaluation link. So another link will be on your screen. That is our post-test link. Ayan. Post-test link. This time, abang-abang po tayo sa ating post-test link para maka-answer ta sa ato ang mga dapat i-answer anang post-test. So, abang-abang po ta sa mga gipasa na mga answer sa atong kauban para ma-perfect. Charot. Alright. Once again, let's take a look. Once again, first, we have our attendance link. Sa mga bagong pasok lang po, ito po yung attendance link natin, controller. Pwede ba natin ibalik? Sa mga hindi nakaabot sa attendance link, again, let's take a look. Ayan. Attendance link. Ayan. That is our attendance link. On your screen right now is our attendance link. So it will be opened later. Next, we have our Katami link. Ayan. Katami link. Controller, our Katami link. Ayan. Please don't forget to submit your evaluation. So that is our evaluation link. This time, again, our post-test link. And don't forget to answer our post-test. Once again, that is our post-test.
Ma'am Irene, excuse me, merong nag-PM sa akin na teacher. Controller,
Yes,
move daw yung link kasi natabunan daw sa logo na I Love Carmen.
Okay.
Thank you, controller.
Yeah. Okay, thank you so much. This time, Ma'am Michelle?
Yes,
the announcement. Yes.
Okay. Yes, Ma'am Irene. So let me present to you once again our top 5 early birds for the elementary and secondary for day 4. So uulitin ko po yung top 5 early birds natin for day 4. Congratulations to Okay, in the elementary level, once again, congratulations to Bacalso Marcel from Santo Niño Elementary School. Next, Tortoga Luchi from Tubod Elementary School. And the next, Minarias Lu from Tuganay Elementary School. And of course, my gorgeous host, open host, Ma'am Irene Morales, yay! From Carmen Central Elementary School Sped Center. And lastly, Ma'am Sara Pahente from Tubod Elementary School. Now, let's go to our secondary level top 5 early birds for day 4. Yes, we have Ma'am Versi Estabaya from Carmen National High School, Ma'am Itorma Jane from Alihal National High School, Derecho Marianais from Carmen National High School, Pequero Raiden Lee from Carmen National High School, and Villaros Baby Girl Venus Marie from La Paz National High School. So congratulations.
This time?
I guess we have the
Our
overall.
overall.
Yes,
All right, the overall.
The overall.
So our overall early birds.
Controller, please.
So I think they're having a internet connection problem overall.
Okay.
So that's right.
Yes, okay, our Carmen District overall early birds. Once again, congratulations to Bacalso Michelle from Santo Niño Elementary School, Estabaya Versi from Carmen National High School, Tortoga Luchi from Tubod Elementary School, Itorma Jane from Alihal National High School, Luminarias Lu from Tuganay Elementary School. So congratulations, teachers. And then we also have the attendance dashboard. I already presented this yesterday, but yung hindi nakakita. So our attendance yesterday morning, we all have 644 responses. And you can see the different percentage of each level in the elementary, junior high, and senior high school. So take a look of the screen. And then next slide, controller. Next slide, please, controller. Okay, so here are the percentage of those who have their attendance in each school. So I guess nabasa ko na to. Should I read this once again? Okay, from Alihal Elementary School, 90%. We have Anibungan Elementary School, 106%. Asuncion Elementary School, 89%. Carmen Central Elementary School SPED Center, 99%. Cibulano Elementary School, 93%. Guadalupe, 110%. La Paz Elementary School or Pinta Sabarat Elementary School, 100%. Mabaos Elementary School, 100%. Magsaysay Elementary School, Mabuhay Elementary School, 91%. Magsaysay Elementary School, 93%. Mangalcal Elementary School, 94%. Minda Elementary School, 100%. And sa mga high school, we have Carmen National High School, 94%. Arihal National High School, 100%. Adimugan High School, 81%. Mabuhay National High School, 100%. Tubod National High School, 94%. And La Paz National High School, 85%. So please, teachers, don't forget to have your attendance para po magka 100% po yung attendance ninyo sa particular school. So I guess that's all, Ma'am Irene.
How about the afternoon session, ma'am? We have.
Okay.
All right.
Yes, ikaw na, Ma'am Irene.
Okay, we have 629 responses. So from elementary, we have 59.6%. For junior high school, we have 32%. And for senior high school, we have 8.4%. That is our attendance responses from day to afternoon session. And from the different schools, we have Alihal Elementary School, we have 96%, Anibungan Elementary School, 82%, Asuncion ES, 100%, Carmen Central, 97%, Cibulano, 86%, Guadalupe, 100%, La Paz Elementary School, 100%, Mabaos, 88%, Mabuhay ES, we have 100%, Magsaysay, 95%, and the connection of our internet is having trouble. All right, so before tayo magpapatuloy, while waiting for the internet, please, let us have a shout out. Greet muna natin yung mga, yan. Greet muna natin yung mga teachers na nag-view na ngayon. Teachers, hello! Gemaline Talaugon and Gary Talaugon. Hello sa Ubi House. Kasama si Ate Avi. Of course, to our naadiri si Sir Nolly. Hello, Sir Nolly. Kauban namin ni Sir. Ano ko'y kauban? Rochelle and Pibnita, relax lang. And then, Maria Vanessa Ando, hello, good morning. How about you, Ma'am Michelle?
Yes, Ma'am Irene, we have here from baby girl Venus Marie Villaruz. Good morning, Miss Irene, watching from La Paz National High School. How about
Ayan,
me?
baby. Baby, hello, baby girl. Are you lost, baby girl? Hello, Venus. Are you lost?
Okay, from Christine Martinez is watching. Hi, everyone. Good morning. Watching from Alihal National High School. So, hello, Ma'am Christine. And then, from controller, please.
So, we are having internet problem.
Yes. Okay, so patuloy pa rin tayo. Tuloy lang.
Ayan.
Okay, from Ilinita Camacho, a pleasant morning po, watching from Tuganay Elementary School. So, hello sa lahat ng mga guro ng Tuganay Elementary School.
Hello to all the teachers of Carmen National High School.
Yes.
So, shall we proceed now? Okay na ba, controller? Meron ba tayong signal? Are we ready?
Yes.
To learn more about our session today.
Okay, so I guess it's my part, Ma'am Irene.
Okay.
Okay, so ready na. Okay, so tapos na yung mga Okay, so now let's proceed to our management of learning. I don't know if ready na ba ang ating yung naka-assign for this day. So now to give us the management of learning, the recap of yesterday's activities, may I call in the teacher 1 of Alihal National High School.
Ma'am Michelle.
Parang hindi pa ready, no?
We will be having our nationalistic song first and our...
Okay.
Okay, sige.
Sorry. Sige.
All right, so are we now ready, ma'am? Jessame, dili pa ready. So, hindi pa daw ready. So, shout out muna tayo. Pa-shout out sa mga TWG, laban lang. Ayaw kay kataranta. Ulat-ulatan lang nato ang internet. While waiting, sige, mag-shout out po muna tayo. Skip muna ang opening program. Okay, let us, dili pa ready ang ating mga TWG. Kailangan pa ng internet connection.
Irene,
Yes.
why not we can also inform our teachers, no, so that they can also pray for the internet connection. Actually, teachers, to be honest, merong problema ngayon sa internet connection ng controller. So, please bear with us. Tama po ba, Ma'am Irene?
Yes, Ma'am Michelle, that's right. Natay problema karon. Sige.
O sige, tuloy na ang laban.
Tuloy lang ang laban. So, greet muna tayo. Thank you. May i-greet ka ba, Ma'am Michelle? Or shout out muna tayo while waiting
Okay.
sa atong internet connection. Once again, our internet connection is having trouble. So please bear with us. And let's enjoy the day together with our family.
Yes. Okay, Ma'am Irene, I would
Okay.
like to greet this time. May nakalimutan akong nag-greet kahapon, Ma'am Irene.
Yes, Ma'am Michelle.
I would like to greet my co-teacher in school na wala na ako na-mention. Ma'am Dina Canosa and Ma'am Jeneline Arsena. Hello. And to the rest of Pinta Sabarat Elementary School teachers. Hi.
All right. So now let us proceed to our recap. Mag-recap muna tayo, Ma'am Michelle. So may we call... Yes, Ma'am Michelle, go.
May I call in the teacher 1 of Alihal National High School? Let's welcome on screen Ma'am Shemaya Concepcion.
Hello, Ma'am Shemaya. Are you still having trouble also? Yes, sir. Elementary. Alihal Elementary School.
Alihal.
Yes, Alihal Elementary School po.
Okay. Alihal Elementary School.
Si Ma'am... Ano pala yung nasabi mo, Ma'am Michelle? Tuganay?
Alihal National High School.
Alihal Elementary School. So, Ma'am Shamaya. Hello, Ma'am Shamaya. No, Ma'am Shamaya po. Hindi si Ma'am Chelsea. Ma'am Shamaya Concepcion of Alihal Elementary School. Hello, Ma'am Shamaya. All right. So, shall we now proceed? Okay, shall we now proceed to the next part, sir? Mikey? All right. No, Warla. Okay lang yan, sir. Laban lang. Sulong, Carmen. I love Carmen. Basta Carmen, more pa. Okay lang yan, sir. All right, let us now proceed to our... Yes, Ma'am Michelle. So, while waiting for the recap and for the internet connection.
Yung Zumba natin ngayon para mas ma-energize yung mga sarili natin bago magsimula. Yes. Tama ba, Ma'am Irene?
Yes. Sige po. So, we will be having our Zumba.
Okay, so para ma-energize naman yung mga utak natin at saka yung mga katawan natin. Okay.
Ready ang lahat. Alright. Sige. So, while waiting for them.
Basta na naman tayo ng comments, Ma'am Irene.
Yes, basa muna tayo ng comments, Ma'am Michelle. Basta Carmen, more pa. Laban lang po tayo, TWG. Huwag po tayo masyadong magmadali. Okay lang yan. Okay naman yung mga kasama natin sa mga viewers natin nasa bahay. Okay? So, this time, Ma'am Michelle, go.
Okay, from my co-teacher, Ma'am Olivia Rosete. Hello everyone. Good morning, watching from Pinta Sabarat Elementary School. Hello, Ma'am Olive.
Yan. Hello, Ma'am Olive. Yes, from Sarah Jane Banuelos. Good morning, watching from Anibungan National High School. Hello pala kay school head ng Anibungan National High School, Sir Eric Andy. Hello, sir. Good morning. Yes, another shout out, Ma'am Michelle, from
Luchi Tortoga. Good morning po from Tubod Elementary School. So, hello po sa lahat ng mga teachers ng Tubod Elementary School.
Hello, teachers. Maggie, hello. Permission nag-comment sa nagwapa daw ang mga host. Charot. Ayaw mo kalain viewers ha. Ano lang good eh. Dawat-dawat na lang jud. All right, this time let us have from Ma'am Jeneline Camillo. Good morning sa tanan, especially to my co-teachers of Carmen Central Elementary School SPED Center, mga kinder headed by Ma'am Nera Navarra. Hello, kinder teachers of Carmen Central. And also to our grade 6 teachers, Michelle Torreta, Gina T. Molina. Hello. Yes, Ma'am Michelle.
And from Amor Cadilinia, good morning everyone from Carmen National High School. Hello po.
Hello. So sa tanang mga teachers, both elementary and secondary high school, secondary, katong wala man nag-greet, wala na mo na ilhan. Oh, hello sa inyo, tung wala nag-greet. Hello.
So,
Ayan, Ma'am Michelle.
okay, our dear teachers, continue to pray for our TWG because there's really, a problem in that internet connection. So, tuloy lang to. Tuloy lang to. Kung kailan day 5 na, tuloy na tuloy pa rin.
Okay. Pwede siguro natin na mag-opening message si Sir Nolly, no, for some reminders. Sir Nolly, okay lang po ba, sir? Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, viewers, both elementary and secondary, this time we will have our district supervisor. I love Carmen, Sir Nolly T. Di Felipe.
Yes, good morning everyone. How are
Good morning.
you? Yes, good morning sa katuwang host. So many pura nag-aiko man.
Tingnan, sir.
Okay. Still? Nag-aiko ba? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yep. Na-off na nakamute na ang microphone sa kuwang katapad diri nga gwapa nga host. Good morning our dear teachers from both elementary and secondary schools of I love Carmen, basta Carmen more pa. And so with our school administrators from different schools of Carmen District, good morning everyone. And so with our viewers, umabot tayo sa ibang bansa as of yesterday. So to our viewers, coming from different part of the world, maybe good morning po, galing po dito sa I love Carmen District of Davao del Norte Division, Region 11. Our dear teachers, as being announced by our technical working group, please bear with them. Kay medyo nagka-problema sa tuwang internet connectivity ang grupo sa technical working group. So just wait for a moment. Relax lang sa diha, no? Mag-utingkay lang sa kung unsay utingkayon. Ang atong mga kaang nga bakante pa, pwede pa nato lihokon kadali while nagahulat sa pag-set up sa tuang taga TWG. It's already our 5th day. This is already our 5th day of training for LMS district level. So at first, I am congratulating everyone for your stay, for your tawagan ni patience sa pagpaabot or sa pagpaminaw sa mga inputs nga gihatag sa tuwa sa different speakers. Most especially with the different simulations being done by our co-teachers of I Love Carmen. I am hoping that everyone were able to get an insights that would probably greatly help you, our dear teachers, in delivering our instruction as we start our classes for this school year 2020-2021 by August 24. Sana tuloy-tuloy na ito, no? And then, of course, from the office of from the district office, I am still encouraging everyone to please follow the health protocols, keep safe. Ato lang gyapong sundon kung unsay dapat nga natong buhaton, for us to be safe always. Padayon sa pakigbisog, padayon sa tuang pagka-vigilant as we continue facing the challenges brought by COVID-19. So while waiting for our TWG to set up, I hope na as of the moment may mga plano na ang ating mga teachers, kung hindi pa kayo nakapag-conduct ng parents capability building no, of your respective student. I hope na after this, starting next week, maybe for as long as that it will be conducted before August 24, sana may ka-schedule na kayo no, for you to talk with your parents. No, kung gawin man ninyo ito physically, I hope that health protocols will be strictly followed. No? So sana. So
Sir,
that's it. Once again, good morning. Good morning, everyone. Let's go back to the host. Thank you.
Yes, Ma'am Michelle, do you have any question for Sir Nolly?
sana, pero alis na siya di ba? Alis eh.
Oh, hindi pa siya aalis. Okay.
Sige.
Okay, we now proceed to our. All right. Okay, we know. So this time, as the pandemic continues, staying resilient and optimistic can be a challenge. At this point, focus on screen for our nationalistic song, followed by giving praise and glory to our Almighty Father, and it will also be followed by the singing of our regional hymn, Davao del Norte hymn, and Carmen hymn via audiovisual presentation.
Ang bayan kong Pilipinas, lupain ng ginto't bulaklak, pag-ibig na sa kanyang pala, nag-alay na ganda't dilag, at sa kanyang yumi at ganda, dayuhan ay naadina. Bayan ko, binihag ka, nasadlak sa dusa. Ibon ng may layang lumipad, kulungin mo at umiiyak. Bayan pa kayang sakdal dilag, ang di magnasang makaalpas. Pilipinas kong minumutya, bugad ng luha at dalita, aking adhika, makita kang sakdal laya. May layang lumipad, kulungin mo at umiiyak. Bayan pa kayang sakdal dilag, ang di magnasan makaalpas. Pilipinas kong minumutya, bugad ng luha at dalita, aking adhika, makita kang sakdal laya. ko nga labing taas, Haring Agila na sumulanggang, Waling-waling hanas sa kamulakan. Manulawan, Haring Luria, Lubiong saging, Ugas na milian, Yutang gimahan sa Davao, Makugihong mga tao. Ang milang ko, mga probinsya, mga dakbayan nagkahiusa, may tuuhan nga Diyos, Davao de Oro, Davao Oriental, del Norte Occidental, del Sur, siyudad sa Davao, Panabo-Tabo, Samal Island, Matibagis, Davao Region, di panalikdan, mga bahanding kinaiyahan, yutang tabunod, daghanang linggoy, makapanginabuhian, garbo sa tanan ng Davao Region, among yutang ahipanggan.
Davao del Norte, nanawigan ang isinisintan. Sagana sa mga kalikasan, magagandang kabukiran. Magsasaka negosyo pagpilinan, ang aming pangangalanan. Mamamaya'y maligaya, sa dakilang nanawigan. Gobyerno privado seryoso, nagkakaisa sa paglutas ng problema. Mga tao'y laging nagtutulungan, namumundar ang aming bayan. Napayapaan ng aming lipunan, ang siyang hangarin ng lahat. Mamamaya'y maligaya, sa dakilang nanawigan. Dahil sa biyaya ng magandang kalikasan, kami nagkakaisa na dumakilang ng aming buhay, sa bayan ay ibigay. Manatiling maglilingkod, magpahanggang sa libingan. Dahil sa biyaya ng magandang kalikasan, kami nagkakaisa na dumakilang bansa. Lakas ng aming buhay, sa bayan ay ibibigay. Manatiling maglilingkod, Davao del Norte, Puputya naming bayan, ugat ng kayamanan, biyayang dulot na may kapal sa lahat ng mamamayan. Lupa't na mayaman, sagana sa anit kabuhayan, dapat pangalagaan, kaunlaran ay makamtan. Carmen, may mahal, Carmen, may mahal, dakila ka sa aming puso, kuwanan ka ng pagmamahal. Carmen, Davao del Norte, Carmen, Davao del Norte, mabuhay ka, mabuhay ka. Carmen, mahal ka. Ang mga kawani ng gobyerno dito po sa ating bayan, masipag, magalang, mahusay at disiplinado, religyosong kapatiran, palatahan, magpakailanman, kapayapaan at kahusayan sa bayan naming mahal. Carmen, may mahal, Carmen, may mahal, dakila ka sa aming puso, kuwanan ka ng pagmamahal. Carmen, Davao del Norte, Carmen, Davao del Norte, mabuhay ka, mabuhay ka. Carmen, mahal ka. Carmen, bayan, mahal.
Okay. So this time, to give us the management of learning, the recap of yesterday's activity, may I call in the teacher one of Alihal Elementary School, Ma'am Shemaya M. Concepcion.
Good morning, my dear fellow teachers in I Love Carmen District. Thank God it's Friday. Welcome to our fifth and final day of teachers training on learning management system. Today, I am tasked to have a recap on what we inspired yesterday in our training. Yesterday was a tiring yet so productive day because we have done a lot of things. The day started with the MOL, followed by the recap of previous day's discussion by Ma'am Wendy Parini, a teacher from Anibuna National High School. After which was the announcement given by the active district supervisor of Carmen, no less than Sir Nolan T. De Felipe. He announced that activities for the day will be compressed so that we could have half day today because of some important matters and events to attend to in the afternoon. True enough, during the breakout session, the demo teaching simulation started immediately. In the elementary department, we have witnessed the simulators from Kinder with Ma'am April Ann Ledesma of San School. Then followed by Ma'am Eileen Teresa Carugay of Carmen Central Elementary School SPED Center. Next was Sir Norsali Insani Jr. of Tubod Elementary School, followed by Ma'am Simeona Floreza of Magsaysay Elementary School. And lastly, Ma'am Omei Marquez from the Arts Department. Simultaneously, the junior high school department also had their simulation with Ma'am Mayshin Balayo of Mangalkal Extension, followed by Ma'am Catherine Herona of Alihal National High School. Next was Ma'am Giselle May Luna of Mabuhay National High School and Sir George Alfred Kumahe of Carmen National High School. And of course, the senior high school simulators, Ma'am Janice Malubay of La Paz National High School, Ma'am Venus Kabakang of Tubod National High School, Sir Aris Gamino of Anibunga National High School, and Ma'am Sarah May Labayan of Carmen National High School. After the simulators, there was an open forum and giving of some insights and comments from the identified process observers. After the open forum was the awarding of watch advocates or the early bird awardees, then the lunch break. At exactly 1 o'clock, the afternoon session has started. We have listened to the different talks from the different speakers. The first speaker was Dr. Janet Veloso, the CLMB chief of Region 11, discussed about the parenting measures to be done in this new normal. Another speaker was Sir Dan Paulo Yema, who talked about the mental health and psychosocial first aid. He stressed out that psychosocial support is very important, for it is our proactive and protective gear against this pandemic. After the psychosocial support topic, Sir Leonidas Jimmy Pismore III shared about the Siningali. He pointed out that art therapy is a good alternative to help us express our feelings and thoughts about the things that surround us, especially in this pandemic. At the end of the Siningaling activity, the teacher participants showed their respective outputs, and it reminded us that love is the ultimate thing that makes the world beautiful. And finally, the last speaker was Sir Mark Anthony C., the head of ICTU, shared his inputs and insights about the learning management system. Although we have experienced some technical problems yesterday due to instability of internet connection, but still we were able to sustain the activity. Indeed, yesterday was a very productive and fruitful day for everyone. This is Shimaya M. Concepcion, and I want to borrow the words from Arthur Ashe, which states that start where you are, use what you have, and do what you can. Thank you very much. Have a great day. God bless us all. Mabuhay tayong lahat.
Wow, thank you so much, Ma'am Shamaya Concepcion of Alihal Elementary School for the recap. Congratulations also to our return simulators. You did it! Hooray! This time, let us have our Zumba time. Galaw-galaw po tayo para mas malakas ang ating katawan. Let's groove! Controller. Thank you so much sa our controller, Sir Mikey. Salamat kayo sa pagpakita sa kong sayaw diha ganina. Wala ko ninyo nakita diyan sa screen, no? Itago manggod ko. This time, let us proceed. Physically isolated yet virtually connected, we learn as one in strengthening the standard of quality education. This time, to give us a talk about COVID-19 information, may we call on screen Director Runilda Arco, DRRMS Director 4, Dr. Sally Pahe, Director 3 DOH, or Disease Prevention and Control Bureau, and Mr. John Villaseñor.
Ito naman yung understanding COVID-19 and what it means for us, no, sa Department of Education. We thought it is proper na tignan natin because of course there are things we know about COVID, but they are here and there, no? At saka yung buong ginagawa ng government. So we're trying to pull everything together kasi iba-iba ang sources din natin to make sense, no? Especially yung characteristics ng virus at ng disease, no? So we hope na this one will help us as non-frontliners, but also those who volunteer to become actually frontliners, no? May mga empleyado na tayong ganyan. Not as health workers, pero meron din tayong mga health, mga school health nurses, no? But those who actually deal also, no, in providing relief packs, PPEs, yung mga ganon. So we're trying to prepare ourselves, no? Of course, yung daily life din natin, but also preparing ourselves in the way we deal better, no? Protecting ourselves better with this COVID-19. Of course, nung nangyari ito, in fact, when we only had 3 cases pa, no local cases, no, we started already acting, no? With several, we were joining the ATF, no, already. And a number of measures have been undertaken, no? So one of which, agad-agad, no, we actually formed our DepEd Task Force COVID-19. Of course, this is composed of the School Health Division, who leads as our secretariat, but in the broader risk reduction, we have our DRRM colleagues, no? So our partnership with school health is very good, very meaningful. How we have been collaborative and supportive of one another. Meron din yung ating public affairs service dito, because of course, no, how do we communicate is very important. So this. So ito, no, nakikita nyo may national, pa-backtrack lang, meron din regions and divisions, no? This is how we have. Of course, at the school level, we also have, no? Especially dun sa ating mga monitoring, no? Next, please. Yan. Ang dami na natin na issue ng mga memos, ano? Lalo na mga first 2 weeks kasi aligaga tayo, no, trying to actually catch up with the situation. I hope that you go over all those and get familiar with them. We also have a SWOT analysis already at the national office, no? Para makita paano ba tayo ang mag-move, no? Where are the opportunities actually and our own strengths, no? Amidst all weaknesses and the threats that are being posed, no? Given the situation. And we have also have tactical strategic plans because ano nang gagawin natin doon sa mga WFP 2020 natin, diba? So we have transformed ourselves into all the gatherings, the meetings, into all webinars, no? So we also need to manage that because one person is attending mga 3, 4, 5 webinars, diba? It can also cause at the work, at the shifting in the work modality can also cause stress actually, no? So we have to learn how to manage this as well. Okay? Next, please. Yan. Siguro po by next week you will see the DepEd-wide continuity plan or response plan. We actually have 2 documents in the central office right now, but they're all integrating the plans of the different offices para makakam up tayo ng iisa. At yung regions can already contextualize, have your own based on the national response plan natin. And you have submitted sa baba, no, pataas, and all the offices also in the central office, a public service continuity plan. We're trying to consolidate this para din maipakita, no, may baba, may mirror yung mga nagawa na ninyo. Okay, so these are 2 major documents. Yan, budget-related, 50% of the comprehensively released budget for monitoring, no, and planning, you can already use. I hope you are using it already for COVID-related response, no? We're trying to see more which of the budgets that have been released already or to be downloaded na pwede po ninyong gamitin pa. Kasi this will take some time, no? It seems within the year or even extending to up to next year. So we need all the budget realignment to support the work that you do. We have tried to process additional budget, no, for PPE, supplies, and medical supplements. Hindi pa po ito final, still being reviewed, no, ng ating finance. And ito, na-process na rin natin, 5.6 naman, pero ito pang central office naman na mga na gamit. Okay? Yeah, because we have a skeletal workforce then, no, who are reporting, staff reporting. We have a daily monitoring, you know that, no? Dati tawag natin, monitor natin PUIs, PUMs, but now we have a different term, no, as released by DOH, no? So, we monitor on a daily basis po, okay? And we have operational hotlines as well, no? Sa lahat ng levels, of central, regional, and division. And I hope that you're still okay, those manage the hotlines, no? Because challenging din po, no? Yes. We have a referral system. At ito, no, nagpapasalamat ako talaga sa mga kasamahan sa school health. Because the health portion of this, which is very big, they've been taking care of it really well, no? Tuwa-tuwa nga ako kasi itong portion na to, di ba, hindi naman natin din sa DRR, sila ang humahawak talaga. So the cases that we have, no, are being handled, managed well, no, by our colleagues from the health side. We have situation reports that we provide to the EXICOM, no? The public service, no? And then yung ating mga NDRIMC. At hopefully nakukuha nyo din po ito, no? Because this is a report that comes from you, no? Okay. We have now a mobile application, no? A mobile app for the reporting. Hopefully gumana. We're still testing ourselves on this, no? Within the week kung okay, maging okay siya at lahat para mas mabilis po at yung data analytics natin ay mas makatulong for planning purposes. Okay? Next, please. Yan. Ito naman ang ating capacity, no? Of course, I already mentioned that we have a team. Okay? We provide advice, no? sa kahit sa ating mga execom, no, sa ating mga kasamahan, no, na nagde-decide, no. Of course, we have capacity building. We have organized already our webinars, no, and yun ding yung IT din, they're actually also helping us. Meron silang pa-training din kasi part of this response plan or learning continuity plan is of course yung part ng learning resources, no, yung curriculum related naman. So we also are helping them yung development ng e-book, no, yung mga pag-digitize ng mga materials because it's massive. Nabigla din tayo, no, it's already here in front of us and we need to be able to continue education. Yes. Ito pa, no? Yung ating mga na-trained. I'm actually proud to say, no, and would like to recognize that we have more than 1,300 people trained, no, at various levels, no? Yan ay FHPSS, psychological first aid, public service continuity planning, contingency planning, which you all know. Ito lang, kailangan magtrabaho tayo talaga collaborative. I always emphasize this, colleagues, that no, because sanay din na diba, yung kanya-kanyang mandate, kanya-kanyang thrust, no, but we need to be able to work well together, okay? Kasi kailangan dito, mabilis talaga tayo, no, we are nimble, we're fast, flexible, but that needs a lot of coordination and collaboration with one another. Nung sa ating mental health webinar for the past 2 weeks, we already trained 563, no, regional and division level. We are hoping you are able to cascade them sa mga teachers. Ang dami na pong humihingi. Even Senator Gatchalian mentioned already that we need to provide to our learners, MHPSS. So I hope you can train na yung ating mga teachers or yung guidance counselors na na-train na natin noon pa, yung mga school health nurses na train na natin noon pa, but we need to retrain kasi may aspect nga ito ng COVID, medyo kakaiba talaga yung mental health burden nito is a very different din. Medyo matindi. So we are hoping that that can be done so we can start with your help. Kayo ang nanguna, umaasa kami that we can already do with our students siguro in the next pagkatapos ng sa mga natin, mga personnel naman sa school level at kahit sa division level. Oh, okay. Ito yung gagawin natin ngayon, di ba? Basically, to understand the epidemiological characteristics of COVID-19. Diba? Ano pa talaga yung virus na to? What do we know and what do we do not know? What is it that's still being discovered? No? And then yung mga protection measures, no? Frontliners, non-frontliners, and for our personnel and no? Kasi yun siguro din yung the mental health problem also comes because yung understanding din, no? Hindi malinaw. Yung ganon, iba-iba, ang daming social media na na-atake yung mga utak at kalooban natin ay ibang sources. Okay? But yun. The other one is yung understanding, no, legal and operational frameworks of the government, no, para dito. Medyo nawala yung sa screen. But, so ito yun. That's why we have also colleagues from government, yung National Task Force, no, on COVID-19. And then yung, hopefully we can devise, no, yung cascading ng training, no, from your end. So what is it today that we are trying to have? Understanding COVID-19 po, and we have our colleagues from DOH to do this, no. Dr. Sally Pahe, no? Director 3 po ng Disease Prevention and Control Bureau of DOH. Ma'am, maraming salamat po.
Without further ado, I will turn you over to our first presenter for the topic Understanding COVID, Dr. Sally Pahe, Director 3 of Disease Prevention and Control Bureau of the Department of Health.
Isang magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat.
Magandang umaga,
Morning,
Dr.
Doc.
Pahe.
Magandang umaga po.
Morning po.
At sa ating DepEd family, at sa lahat po ng ating mga partners na kasama po natin ngayong umaga. So magandang umaga po muli sa ating lahat, sa ating po mga DepEd family. So ako po ay naatasang mag-present sa coronavirus disease sa araw na ito. So ano po ba yung coronavirus disease? Yung coronavirus is actually a large family of viruses that would cause respiratory illness ranging from common colds to a more serious infection such as the one yung MERS-CoV at SARS-CoV. And in severe cases, it can actually cause pneumonia or severe acute respiratory diseases and even kidney failure. So ang coronavirus po ay isang zoonotic disease in nature, tulad po ng SARS-CoV, kung saan meron po kasing mga animals na pwede pong magdala ng sakit na ito. Katulad po ng SARS-CoV, nung mga unang panahon na nagkaroon po tayo, ito po ay nanggaling sa civet cats. So ito po ang tawag dito ay mga reservoir animals na sources ng infection. Yun naman pong MERS-CoV na nanggaling sa camels. At sa symptoms po ay halos magkakapareho po sila. And sa coronavirus, meron din pong lagnat, ubo, respiratory symptoms, shortness of breath, difficulty of breathing. At dun sa mga iba pong nakita naming mga pasyente, meron din pong pagtatae. So, in terms of how it is transmitted, since this is a new disease not previously identified in humans, and it is actually caused by the SARS-CoV-2 virus. This can be transmitted from person to person and animal to human through droplet infection after close contact with an infected patient or animal, for example, in your household, in your workplace, in your healthcare facility, or in a live animal market. So in terms of treatment, wala pa po tayong vaccine para dito. There is no specific treatment that is available, but we have supportive care and symptomatic treatment for our cases for those patients who have been afflicted. So paano maipapasa ang virus ng COVID? Ito po ay naipapasa sa pamamagitan ng maliliit na patak mula sa pagsasalita, pagbahin, pag-ubo ng isang infected na tao. So ito po yung tinatawag nating droplet transmission. Ang droplets po ay mula sa pag-ubo at pagbahin at maaaring umabot ng 1 metro. So panatilingin po ang 1 metrong layo sa mga tao para na may simptomas ng respiratory illness upang makaiwas po tayo dito sa sakit na ito. Para po maiwasan ang pagkahawa o maipasa ang COVID-19, kailangan po natin pagsasagawa ng physical distancing. So manatili lamang po sa bahay upang mabawasan ng interaction sa ibang tao at panatilihin 1 metro ang distansya sa mga taong nasa paligid, sa loob at labas ng tahanan. Panatilihin din pong malinis ang mga kamay, hugasan ng inyong kamay, mga 20 seconds gamit sabon at tubig, o kaya gumamit ng alcohol-based hand rub. At gawin ang wastong paraan ng pag-ubo. Takpan ang inyong bibig at ilong gamit ang braso o tissue kapag bumabahin o umuubo. Iwasan din pong hawakan ang bibig, ang mata at ang ilong. So huwag hawakan ang bibig, ang mata, ang ilong, lalo na kung humawak ka sa maruruming bagay at paglilinis sa pag-disinfect. So panatiling malinis ang inyong tahanan at mga kagamitan. At pwede po kayong gumawa ng bleach na sinatawag natin sa pamamagitan ng sodium hypochlorite bleach. Ito po ay pwedeng magtimpla ng 7 kutsara ng bleach, haluan lang po ng 1 litrong tubig. O kaya pwede din tayong gumamit ng 70% alcohol. Sumunod sa mga tagubili ng ating mga health officers at hawak nila ang mga bagong impormasyon hinggil sa COVID-19 at sila po ay makakapagbigay payo sa atin. So sino ang maaaring mahawa ng virus na ito? Ang sino man, anuman ang edad ay maaaring mahawa sa COVID-19. Wala pong sino ang virus na to. So ang mga grupong may mataas na tsansang magkaroon ng malubhang karamdaman ay ang mga sumusunod. Ay yung ating pong mga senior citizens, 65 years old and above, ating mga lolo at lola, at mga taong dati nang may karamdaman, katulad ng may mga alta presyon, sakit sa puso, baga, diabetes, sakit sa kidney, sa atay, sa neurological conditions, o pati cancer, kasama din po dito, o kaya yung mga merong may HIV/AIDS. So may mga lubhang mapanganib. Ito ay lubhang mapanganib din sa ating mga nagbubuntis na babae na edad 17 at mas bata, may edad 35 o kaya mas matanda, at yung mga may dati nang karamdaman. So ito po yung ating classification. Sinasabi po natin na yung mga persons under monitoring or persons under investigation, hindi COVID-19 na kaso, pero doon po sa mga persons under monitoring natin, base po doon sa bagong issuance po or interim guidelines ng April 16, tinatawag na po natin silang contact, no? So ito po mga individuals na to, ito po yung ating nilalagay sa quarantine at home o kaya sa mga barangay isolation units natin. Doon naman po sa person under investigation, ito po yung mga suspect cases natin, at yung iba po nito, wala pang test o hindi pa natetest. Pero meron po kasi silang exposure o contact with a probable or confirmed case of COVID. Halimbawa po ay yun pong ating mga healthcare worker or caregiver ng mga COVID patients, those working together with COVID positive patients, traveling together with COVID positive or living together with COVID confirmed cases. At yung mga health workers din ho, kung saan merong pasyente doon sa kanilang ospital na minamanage na COVID. So, meron din po tayong mga hindi tiyak o tukoy ang resulta ng test. Ang tawag po sa kanila ay probable cases. Pero yung pong nagpa-positive sa ating RT, yung ating pong test na ginagamit na rapid test, yun po ay confirmatory. So ito po yung ating mga RT-PCR positive na nag-test, yun po ang confirmed cases. So pwede kang makonsidera nakabilang sa classificasyong suspect kung ikaw ay nagkaroon ng influenza-like illness, nagkalagnat ka, may upo, pananakit ng lalamunan, at kabilang sa mga nasa ibaba, like yung mga naglakbay o naninirahan sa isang lugar na may ulat ng lokal na transmisyon ng sakit na COVID-19 sa loob ng 14 na araw bago nagsimula ang iyong mga sintomas. O kaya, nagkaroon ka ng close contact sa isang confirmed o probable na kaso ng COVID-19 sa loob ng 14 na araw bago nagsimula ang iyong mga sintomas. So, ikaw ay isang suspect kung may lagnat ka, may ubo, hirap ang paghinga, nasa edad 60 years old pataas, mayroong ibang pangsakit tulad ng mga nabanggit ko noong una, mayroong masela na pagbubuntis o isang healthcare worker. Pwede ka rin makonsider na suspect kung nagkaroon ka ng biglang karamdaman sa baga na may malubhang sintomas na hindi pa matukoy ang kadahilanan at kailangan pang madala sa ospital. So, pwede ka rin makonsider na probable case kung ikaw ay suspect patient at hindi tiyak ang resulta ng iyong testing o kaya ginawa na yung test, hindi pa opisyal na laboratorio na gumagawa ng RT-PCR test. So, Meron po tayong mga testing centers na nagsasagawa nito at ito po ay usually sa mga ospital, sa RITM. So nag-expand na po tayo ng ating testing centers. Meron din po tayo sa PGH, sa Lung Center of the Philippines, doon po sa Tala Hospital sa Caloocan. At marami pa pong mga nagpapa-accredit na testing centers, mga 17 po lahat yan, kung saan po tayo pwedeng magpa-test para sa confirmatory test na tinatawag nating RT-PCR test. Para po dun sa mga kinoconsider na confirmed case, yun po ay nag-positive sila sa RT-PCR test at definitely COVID-19 case po sila. So base po sa global report ng ating mga confirmed COVID-19 cases all over the globe, meron na pong naitalang more than 2.4 million na kaso, 169,000 deaths, at ang ating pong case fatality rate ay 7%. So ito po yung mga kaso sa buong mundo na naitala. At kung ikukumpara po natin yung case mortality rate ng COVID-19 versus yung MERS-CoV o SARS-CoV, makikita po natin na mas marami po ang mortality ng MERS-CoV at SARS-CoV compared sa COVID-19, which is at 7%. Ito naman po yung mga naitala o reported confirmed COVID cases as of April 23. We have 6,981 confirmed cases, 722 recovered cases, at 462 deaths. So ito po yung ating naitala as of April 23. Kung saan meron po tayong mga 29 new recovered cases at 16 new deaths. Ito rin po yung ating total coronavirus cases sa Pilipinas mula February 15 hanggang April 21 at makikita po natin na ito po ay pataas pa. Ito naman po yung mga daily new cases na naitatala from February 15 to April 21 at nakita po natin dito na ang pinakamataas na cases ay naitala noong March 31. Sa active cases, mga infected population, currently infected, at karamihan po nito ay mga nasa ospital pa. So, tumataas pa rin po. And sa total deaths, pataas pa rin po siya. So, ito rin po yung mga daily new deaths na naitala. So, ito po yung ating mortality doubling time na pinapakita po dito sa graph ay nag-slow down significantly. Ang ating pong doubling time as of now is nandun po sa 3 to 7 days. So, bumabagal po. Ang ibig pong sabihin nito ay bumabagal po ang ating transmission ng mga kaso. So ito po ay isang magandang senyales na ang ating ECQ ay more or less meron po tayong gains because naglagay po tayo ng extended quarantine measures at matatapos po ng April 30 pero dahil pinag-aralan po ng IATF kung ano po ang mga susunod na hakbang, abangan po natin kung magkakaroon po tayo ng extension o magkakaroon po tayo ng modified extension. So ito po, pinapakita po natin dito ang ating doubling time ay nasa 3 to 7 days na po. So medyo bumabagal po ang ating rate of transmission. Ano po ang ating mga estratehiya para supuin ang COVID-19? Basically, 4 po yung ating strategy. Yung enhanced community quarantine and social distancing, para po ang ating mga kababayan ay manatili sa kanilang mga tahanan at maglagay ng distansya sa isa't isa, mga 1 meter away from each other. Gumagawa po tayo ng contact tracing and surveillance para po matuntun natin yung mga taong nakasalamuhang may sakit at mas pinaigting pa ang ating pagsubaybay sa mga taong ito, lalo na po yung may malubhang sakit sa baga. Meron po tinatawag tayong triage system at ito po ay meron din tayo ginawang increased testing capacity. So, yung unang isa sa ilalim sa testing ay yung mga taong nangangailangan nito at pagpaparami ng mga taong maaaring bigyan ng test. So, we are currently increasing our testing capacity para po mas marami pa po tayong ma-test na individual. Meron din po tayong improved case management, pinahusay na pangangalaga sa mga taong nagpositibo sa COVID-19. At kung gagawin po natin ang mga estratehiyang ito at may patutupad ng maayos, ay mababawasan ang mga Pilipinong mahahawa sa COVID-19. At dadami ang mga gagaling mula sa virus, mas magiging epektibo ang pagtugon ng mga ospital sa bawat kaso at mailigtas tayo mga buhay. So, tigilan na enhanced community quarantine ang pagkalat ng virus sa isang komunidad dahil nililimitahan nito ang paggalaw ng mga tao upang lumiit ang tsansang mahawa o makahawa sila ng iba. So, pinoprotektahan din ito ang mga pinaka nanganganib na magkasakit. So, dito po sa ating enhanced community quarantine and social distancing, panatilihin lang po natin ang ating mga kababayan sa loob ng kanilang tahanan, mag-social distancing ng 1 metro sa bawat isa, mabawasan ang panganib ng exposure, lalo na kung nasa supermarket o sa butika, pag-iwas sa matataong lugar, patuloy na pagkakaroon ng good hygiene sa pamamagitan ng wastong pag-ubo or cough etiquette, palagi ang paghuhugas ng kamay at hindi paghawak sa bibig, tainga at ilong. Okay, so tuloy-tuloy po ang ating contact tracing and surveillance. Isang proseso kung saan ang mga taong na-expose sa isang presentation. So yung surveillance po na sinasabi natin ay ang isang proseso ng pagtukoy ng mga posibleng kaso ng COVID-19 mula sa mga taong may severe acute respiratory illness o malubhang sakit sa baga. So ito po ay ginagawa upang mahanap po ang ibang posibleng kaso ng COVID-19 sa labas ng ginagawang contact tracing. So ano ang maaaring gawin sa oras na kontakin ka ng DOH sa contact tracing and surveillance? Sagutin po ang mga tanong nila ng buong katapatan, makipag-ugnayan sa DOH habang minomonitor ang mga sintomas, ihiwalay ang sarili mula sa ibang tao kabilang na ang mga mahal sa buhay natin. Ipagpatuloy ang social distancing, wastong paghugas ng kamay, wastong pag-ubo at iba pang good hygiene practices. Yun naman pong triage system, ito po ay kasalukuyang pinagbubuti pa ng ating DOH, ang ating mga testing facilities, at bumibili tayo ng mga bagong testing kits para mas maraming pasyente ang ating maipatest. So, sa ngayon, gagamitin ang triage system sa paghawak ng mga kaso. So, dito po, prioridad ng testing ang mga taong mahina ang resistensya. Yung pong mga elderly, matagal nang may karamdaman at iba pa, o may malubhang simptomas. Sorry po. So, kailangan silang gamutin sa lalong madaling panahon dahil sila ang pinakananganganib na may magkasakit. Ano po ang maaaring gawin? Kung ikaw ay makararanas ng bahagyang sintomas, subalit mas bata sa 65 years old, walang iniindang karamdaman dati pa, hindi mo kailangan magpa-test. Manatili lang sa tahanan at uminom ng gamot para sa nararamdaman at hindi rin po kailangan mag-self-medicate ng antibiotics. Kung ikaw ay nakararanas ng matinding sintomas o kaya bahagyang sintomas, subalit dati nang may iniindang karamdaman, o 65 years old and above, maaaring dumiretso na sa ospital. Kung hindi sigurado, wag nang mag-atubiling tumawag sa DOH hotline. Meron po tayong hotline 02894-COVID, 02894-26843, or 1555 para sa Smart at PLDT subscribers. Huwag basta maniwala sa mga balita tungkol sa paggagamot sa COVID-19. tiyakin muna kung totoo, gamit ang mga opisyal na channels ng DOH at huwag maniwala sa mga nagtitinda ng peking COVID-19 kits. Mga lisensyadong laboratory po lamang ng DOH ang maaring magsagawa ng mga test. At meron na po tayong 6 na laboratorio sa buong bansa na pinabubuti pa po para makapagpatest pa ng mas maraming tao. Yung ating pong case management ay paglalaan ng dagdag na health supplies, mga PPEs, N95 or respirators at mga gamot para sa ating mga nangangasiwa ng mga kaso ng COVID-19 sa mga health facilities at pagsasanay din ng mga health workers tungkol sa pinakabagong kaalaman kung paano alagaan ang ating mga pasyente. Dahil tataas po ang tsansang gumaling ang mga COVID patients kung mahusay ang ating pangangalaga. So kung ikaw ay sa improved case management, ang maaring gawin kung nais mong mag-donate ng PPEs, mask, gamot, ibang equipment sa ating health workers, huwag lang po kayo mag-atubiling kontakin ng DOH at maging updated po ang ating mga health workers sa ating mga inilalabas na clinical guidelines through our official channels. So, ito na po ang ating mga nagawa. We are currently on Code Red Alert Level 4, Sub-Level 2. So, naglagay po na tayo ng temporary travel ban for domestic and international flights. We have activated our COVID-19 Emergency Operations Center and Incident Command Center. We have established a task force for COVID-19. We have disseminated 174 policy issuances and 22 IATF resolutions. We have implemented quarantine, ongoing intensive contact tracing. We have also attended to the repatriation of thousands of our overseas workers from different countries. We have prepared our laboratories and hospitals and community engagement activities for the ECQ implementation. So meron po tayong ongoing daily big COVID report presser every 4 p.m. at situational report and case tracker. So nag-recommend po tayo ng declaration of public health emergency for enhanced community quarantine in Manila and the whole of Luzon. So meron na po tayong mga sub-national laboratories na na-establish po natin, 17 lab facilities as of April 23, and we're still assessing 47 more. We have been procuring, distributing PPEs to both public and private hospitals and continuing with our procurement for our RT-PCR test kits. And reclassification based on WHO case definition as I presented earlier. And we have already our designated COVID-19 hospitals like PGH, Land Center, Jose Rodriguez Memorial, some private hospitals like St. Luke's Medical Center, Makati Med, and other referral hospitals for Luzon, as well as identified quarantine facilities at the local levels and those at national level. So marami na rin po tayo na-establish na quarantine facilities, lalo na po dito sa Luzon, at ang mga iba po nito ay nandito sa Metro Manila. So meron po tayong mga nailagay na sa ating yung pong ginawa natin sa ibibigay ko po yung listahan later sa inyo. So meron din po tayong mga telemedicine and online psychological services. Meron pong mask testing using ating RT-PCR. At nag-emergency hiring po kami currently ng ating mga health personnel for COVID-19 response. We've also launched our contra-COVID chatbot, yung ating KIRA, Knowledge Informs Responsible Action, or katuwang na impormasyon para sa responsableng aksyon. Ito po yung ating code alert system. So nasa code red po tayo, sub-level 2, because meron po tayong sustained community transmission and we have a series of clusters in a population infected with COVID-19 in a given period of time, continuing to extend its reach in other areas. So sa Code Red Sub-Level 2, meron pong ebidensya ng community transmission at patuloy na pagtaas at paglaganap ng mga kaso na higit pa sa kakayahan ng gobyerno na tugunan. At isa po tayo sa unang naglabas ng ng ating community quarantine at nag-lockdown tayo. Tayo po yung unang-una dito sa Southeast Asia. So para po dun sa mga may simptomas na may travel history, may history of exposure na natawag nating patient under investigation. Kung kayo po ay may symptoms, kailangan po kaagad ng admission and management sa isang level 2 or level 3 hospital. Pero kung kayo naman po ay walang symptoms, pero meron kayong travel history to an area with travel restriction, at kung positive po kayo sa travel history, you are considered person under monitoring at kailangan po kayo mag-home quarantine for 14 days. So, yung pong sinasabi nating history of exposure, yung mga nabanggit ko po kanina, kung kayo ay health worker or working together with the COVID patient, travel together with a COVID patient or a health worker in a facility where the COVID patients are being managed. So dun po sa mga may travel history to countries and also in areas where there is a high transmission in the locality na may symptoms, kung meron po kayong symptoms, considered po kayo persons under investigation. Kung mild ang symptoms, no comorbid conditions na mga nabanggit ko po, hindi po kayo elderly, pwede po kayong mag-quarantine at home, or meron po tayong mga naitala ngayong mga barangay quarantine or isolation facilities. Kung meron po sa inyong lugar, ay pwede po kayong ma-isolate dito sa mga temporary treatment and monitoring facilities na na-establish po. So kung hindi naman po, you are considered a UM, person under monitoring, and kung wala naman po kayong history of exposure, within 14 days or direct contact with a COVID-19 patient or working together or traveling together or living together with a COVID positive patients, kayo po ay considered person under monitoring. So ito po yung algorithm natin for probable or confirmed COVID-19 cases. Para po dun sa mga severe or high-risk cases, kailangan po nating ma-admit, no? Kasama din po doon ang mga moderate cases, lalo na po kung elderly at meron pong comorbid conditions. And para doon sa mga mild or low risk, pwede pong mag-home quarantine or isolation for 14 days. Ito po yung mga laboratorio na ating na-establish, license for COVID-19 testing. At ang pinakamarami po nito ay nandito sa Maynila, meron din po sa Baguio, ang ating Baguio General Hospital, sa Cebu, ang Vicente Soto Memorial Medical Center, and Davao, ang Southern Philippines Medical Center, sa Iloilo, Western Visayas Medical Center, sa Legazpi, Bicol Regional Diagnostic Reference Laboratory, at the rest po ay nandito na po sa Metro Manila. So ang ating pong mga advice para sa ating publiko para maprotektahan sa banta ng COVID-19, proper hand hygiene, practice proper cough etiquette, maintaining social distancing 1 meter away from any individual with cough or fever, avoid touching the eyes, the ears, and the nose, clean personal things and surfaces with disinfectant solution, wearing a face mask when going outside of the house. At para po maprotektahan yung iba and yourself from getting sick, wash your hands after coughing or sneezing, when caring for the sick before, during, and after you prepared food, for the sick before eating or after toilet use, when the hands get dirty, and after handling animals or animal waste. Ano po yung proper cough etiquette? Cover your mouth and nose with a hanky or a tissue, or the crook of your elbows, o dito po sa laylayan ng ating, dito po sa harap ng ating t-shirt or blouse. Move away from people when coughing. Do not spit. Throw away tissues in appropriate bin. Always wash your hands after sneezing or coughing. Or you can use alcohol or sanitizer. Yung physical distancing po ay kailangan 1 meter away from individuals, lalo na po yung may respiratory symptoms. So, i-maintain po ang layo ng mga tao, lalo na po kung may respiratory symptoms o ubo at sipon. So, ito po ay halos kasing haba ng isang motorsiklo o upuan para sa 2 tao. So, yung sa proper use of mask is recommended po para those with respiratory symptoms like cough, colds, or sore throat, or those caring for patients with respiratory symptoms, and those going outside of their homes, as well as especially for the health workers po. So, isuot lamang po ang mask sa lahat ng oras habang nasa mga pampublikong lugar, kahit habang nakikipag-usap. Galing lamang ito kapag nasa bahay na o kailangan kumain. Yaking laging naghuhugas ng kamay, dumistansya kahit 1 metro sa ibang nasa labas at takpan ang inyong ilong at bibig kapag umuupo o bumabahe. Hindi sapat ang pagsuot lamang ng face mask para maprotektahan ka sa COVID-19. Avoid crowded places. Kung makakaiwas po sa mga matataong lugar, ay umiwas po tayo. So, doon po sa mga sick animals and animals that have died of disease, hindi po dapat pinakain yan. Lalo na po mga may sakit na hayop. Even in areas experiencing outbreaks, meat products can be safely consumed kung ito po ay iluluto po natin na maayos at properly handled during food preparation. So, some tip lang po, use different chopping boards and knives for raw meat and cooked foods. And wash your hands between handling raw and cooked foods. So, para po sa ating health advisory, paano po mag-disinfect ng mga bagay-bagay upang maiwasan ang COVID-19? So, ugaliin pong linisin yung mga bagay na mas madalas hawakan ng tao. At ito po ay pagsasagawa ng isang parting bleach sa 100 parts ng tubig. So, 1/4 cup ng bleach na sodium hypochlorite, 1 galon ng malinis na tubig, para punasan po ang mga bagay-bagay na karaniwan po ay nahahawakan tulad ng doorknobs, yung pong ibabaw ng lamesa, yung pong switches, yung pong madalas na pipindot at hinahawakan. Para paano po maglinis o mag-disinfect, siguraduhin pong malinis ang inyong gamit para maiwasan. Pwede pong gumamit din ng 70% alcohol para ma-disinfect ang mga bagay na madalas na hinahawakan tulad ng cellphone, susi, remote control, computer keyboard, mouse, at iba pang personal na gamit. Paano maglinis ng bahay? Siguraduhin pong malinis ang inyong kapaligiran. I-disinfect din ang inyong bahay, sahig, ibabaw ng lamesa, upuan, mga railings, doorknob, at iba pang bahagi ng bahay. So, bahay muna, buhay muna. Yung pong pag-spray o misting ay hindi po nakakaprotekta against COVID-19 at baka makasama pa nga po. So, the DOH would not recommend spraying or misting. There is no evidence to support that spraying of surfaces or large-scale misting of areas, indoor or outdoor, with disinfecting agents will kill the virus. Spraying has an additional health and safety concern as it can cause any pathogen to be dispersed further from the direct application of a spray. So, di po ba sabi natin droplet itong infection na to? At so, maaari pong disperse yung virus using the spray. So, it can also result to skin irritation or inhalation of chemicals, as well as development of respiratory side effects, lalo na po kung allergic kayo sa mga ini-spray. May also cause environmental pollution. So, huwag po tayo mag-spray or miss disinfection at this time. Soak objects completely or disinfect surfaces directly to kill the virus. Para po dun sa mga ating mga damit. Halimbawa, pwede po natin i-disinfect using yung ating ginamit na panlinis. So, mag-fact check lamang po tayo from DOH. At ito po ay mga designated COVID facilities. Kasalukuyan po tayo nag-emergency hiring ng mga health personnel for our COVID response para po mapunuan ang mga kakulangan sa ating mga ospital na dinesignate natin na COVID-19 referral. So, maaari mo pong gamitin yung tinatawag nating KIRA, Contra COVID bot sa Facebook, Viber, at Contra COVID PH web app. So, sa KIRA po, ito po ay katuwang na impormasyon para sa responsableng aksyon. Ang Contra COVID bot, responsibilidad natin ng ating kapwa. So ito pong KIRA ay para sagutin po ang inyong mga katanungan tungkol sa COVID-19. Meron po tayo mga homeliners naman na mag-aalaga para po dito sa ating KIRA. So para po malaman kung ikaw ay may risk ng COVID-19, mga impormasyon para sa mga kailangan gawin sa laban sa COVID-19 at sagot sa mga tanong tungkol sa COVID-19 at guidelines ng quarantine. So pwede po makausap si KIRA sa Facebook Messenger chat, sa Viber, at sa Contra COVID PH web app. Ito po yung virtual presser natin, araw-araw at 4 p.m. So, para po hindi magkaroon ng fake news, marami po tayong information and advisories. At para po sa ating public advisories, you can visit the following official DOH channels, yung ating COVID live tracker, https, and covidtracker.doh.gov.ph, yung ating DOH website, www.doh.gov.ph, COVID-19, healthyfilipinas.ph, ang ating pong Facebook, www.facebook.com, official DOH.gov, and yung ating facebook.com/DOH Healthy Pilipinas o kaya sa twitter.com/DOH.gov. At marami po tayong ginawang infographics, social media cards that we can share through email. So ito po yung ating mga website kung saan makakakuha ng mga impormasyon on COVID-19. Yun na lamang po ang aking isi-share sa inyo. Maraming salamat po.
Full straight.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, good morning everyone. I'm presenting on WASH, water sanitation hygiene, schools in the COVID-19 pandemic. Thank you for this opportunity to be able to share this particular, very particular important dimension of our work in response to the COVID-19 pandemic. So for this presentation, I aim to describe the links between WASH and the COVID-19 response in the education setting. Delineate strategic WASH in schools action at the local level for the COVID response, and understand the participants are from the region, from the sub-national level. Then describe links as well of WASH in schools to the broader community response to the COVID-19 pandemic. So we'll have four major topics for this presentation. One is the rationale for WASH in schools in the COVID response. Why do we need WASH in the COVID response? And I think the past presentations have particularly underlined that. We will further focus on WASH on that. Then key strategies for WASH in schools against the COVID-19. And then we go into more specific provisions against the COVID-19. And then sharing with you also school relevant infection prevention control measures in community setting that has been from DOH and the World Health Organization. So in terms of water sanitation and hygiene, there are few key things that we need to be able to take note of. And I think the first one is something that has been mentioned, that has been particularly underlined earlier. First is that frequent and proper hand washing with soap and running water is the single most effective way to prevent infection. This is in cognizance of transmission of the process by which COVID-19 is transmitted, and that has been explained earlier by Dr. Pahe and also touched on by General Leon and by Dr. Chris. And while there are other measures like wearing masks while social distancing, frequent hand washing, and especially with soap and running water, is actually the most fundamental way to prevent infection. In addition, environmental cleaning is an essential component of infection prevention and control measures. So outside of ourselves, we need to be able to control the surroundings. Especially the context of children who touch just about anything they can touch in our schools. We must note as well that COVID has not been detected in chlorine-treated drinking water. This is particularly underlined. It's chlorine-treated, particularly meaning safe drinking water by WHO and DOH standard. Water is able to fight actually the contamination of COVID, given the standard chlorine content, residual content in standard water, safe drinking water that we have. But if water is not treated, then there's a greater chance of it being contaminated. While COVID-19 has been detected in feces sa tae, there is no evidence of fecal oral transmission of COVID. So this particular part still has to be studied, whether feces contact with feces would cause contamination. As right now, there's no evidence yet of transmission via feces. Thus, it is safely managing water supply sanitation remains important to prevent contamination and for general public health benefits. I explained it earlier how to prevent contamination, but at the same time, let me emphasize the benefits of managing clean water and sanitation for general public health benefits, especially for children, as it's having safe water, it's having proper sanitation facilities and practices that children are prevented from other infections, and thus being more vulnerable to other infections. Then let me now talk about our schools, particularly in terms of education continuity. One of the key things that we are losing out with the COVID pandemic is the opportunity for education, the opportunity for children to enjoy for socialization and for learning in schools. And that's one of the first things that we aim for in a emergency, particularly with this pandemic, is to be able to get our children back to school as soon as possible. But it's not just getting our children back to school as soon as possible, but it's also being able to make sure that our schools are prepared for the return of our children, of our teachers. And that would mean creating a safe and clean environment, and in particularly making sure that in school we reduce their vulnerabilities, we increase the resilience through critical infection prevention and control measures to be implemented. This is the very DRR part of it, really, that in getting children back to school and through measures through water sanitation, hygiene, and infection prevention control measures, we are actually reducing the vulnerabilities of children, increasing the resilience, that in the face of the dangers of this pandemic, that they be able to protect themselves, and that they have the strength to be able to overcome these risks. But at the same time, as we bring our children to schools and make our schools prepare our schools for their return, we have to see our schools as well as venues for hygiene behavior change. that in school, that's where children would have the opportunity to gain knowledge, and for us to be able to motivate them for hand washing, and at the same time providing facilities and the supplies that would ensure the opportunity for them to practice proper hygiene. Right now, what is driving our practice of hand washing is fear. But once the fear is done, the next question is what would be what would be motivating people, particularly our children, to wash their hands still. At the same time, how are we enabling them to have that opportunity to be able to practice proper hygiene in school? Do we have enough facilities and supplies? And is there the time and schedule for them to be able to practice that? Thus, we have to look at our Deaf and Wash in Schools program against the COVID-19. And fortunately, that program is very well established now in the Department of Education. Though in many ways, still some other areas still need strengthening, and some other areas are already way ahead of others. But one thing we have to look at it first is that Washing Schools is a pillar of the comprehensive Deaf program. And that is something that we have to be doing alongside other interventions, and that there are other that this as Washing Schools as a. Can somebody please turn off the microphone and turn it away from a wind source? Thank you very much. So what I'm trying to point out is Washing Schools is something we should be doing as something as regular as teaching pupils. And that the Department of Education already has the mechanisms and tools for schools to be able to implement Washing Schools, particularly the hygiene component. We have the national standards, the WINS 3-star approach, and the WINS online monitoring system. But if there are other sectors within the Department of Education that are not familiar with these things, the very first step actually out after this webinar is to be able to is to make sure that these sectors are become familiar with Washing Schools. Now, the urgency for Washing Schools is further underlined by current data from the Washing Schools online monitoring system. And what you see on the screen is the latest data from the Deaf and Washing Schools online monitoring system. Particularly for hygiene, for the COVID pandemic, we're looking at particularly critical indicators such as access to water for cleaning, not so much water for drinking, as in this COVID pandemic, what is more important is actually quantity of safe water for hand washing and for cleaning. While without diminishing the importance of safe drinking water, as I've said earlier, what we need to be able to focus on, particularly in the context of schools, is access to water for cleaning and hand washing. The next component is regular supply of soap for hand washing. And the third one is the availability of group hand washing facilities. And just to go through the data, we still have schools that have no access for water, and many schools do not have them as well on a regular basis. More than half of them still just have water in a few hours or a few days within a week. We still have almost a quarter of the schools, public schools, that have no regular supply of soap, and another quarter of schools that do not have group hand washing facilities. And this tells to us what should be priorities in terms of facilities improvement, in terms of materials for school operations. And while this data is from the national level, the encouragement here, the key message here is that each division, each regional office should start looking at their data on Washing Schools. Now, let's talk about broad key strategies for washing schools. And here, we're not just pointing to washing schools within the schools, but at the same time, how washing schools figures as part of the work within the school, within the division office and the regional office, and at the same time in the broader communities or local localities that the schools are part of. That's why the very first strategy that's there is the participation of the school sector in coordinating systems. And I would that while our DRR coordinators are more or less involved in DRR initiatives within the school and the division office or the regional office and with the LGUs, I wish to underline the need for school leaders and health staff to be able to step up and put themselves in a position to participate in local DRRM committees. Washing schools should be part of local COVID response and recovery plans, whether in the context of children, of bringing back children to school, and also with the potential use, particularly of schools as quarantine sites. So this underlies particularly the need for us to be able to influence decision making by the local government units, whether at the barangay, at the municipal, and provincial levels. And participating in coordinating systems also allows us in the school sector to strengthen our partnerships and linkages with other actors for direct support, and at the same time for the out-of-school learner support services that would be needed for our children and for their families. Often, and it has always been pointed out by schools that we teach our children good hygiene habits in the schools, and yet when they get home, the behavior is undermined by the practices within the home. That is something certainly that we need to be. But while that is something outside of the school, that is certainly something that the school can help with ensuring that those messages, the practices developed in the school are maintained and sustained within the households. The next one is that we need to assess capacities and gaps, both at the school and division levels. I particularly point out school and division levels because this is where the real action happens. And it is not to diminish the participation of the regional offices. What we need to assess would be the knowledge of COVID infection prevention control measures. This webinar is particularly important for that, particularly the details of the earlier presentation with regard that you have provided in terms of infection prevention control measures, and the need to further strengthen the knowledge for this. This webinar and the discussions and participation in local DRR committees would be important opportunities to strengthen that knowledge. Apart from the knowledge, from that knowledge, we need to be familiar. We need to see how much is the familiarity with local guidelines and procedures. Different LGUs would have their own different takes and would have their own ways, given the different contexts. And that is something that the schools and division levels should be able to be familiar with. We would need to assess readiness of action teams within the schools and the division offices, for the division offices to respond. And we need to be able to assess functionality of wash facilities and availability of supplies, for which, as I said, one of the first things that we need to do again is look at the data that we have in our regions, in our divisions. Next is, of course, after assessing, we need to be able to improve our facilities, provide supplies, be able to, and when we say provide supplies, regular supplies. So schools have to be, the division offices have to be able to facilitate the schools, and strengthen the supply chains for soap, disinfectants, and water. To do this, we need to update our washing schools assessment, school division levels, use the data for planning and budgeting, and put in washing schools in our operation plans, particularly in terms of daily cleaning, operation and maintenance, and others. We need to do capacity building for managers and implementers, managers at the division level, and the implementers at the school level on washing schools implementation, hygiene for teachers, hygiene education in the curriculum, and broadly infection prevention and control in the school and in community spaces. Next is we need to be able to monitor the functionality of facilities and practices. And let me underline practices, as we often found that there might wonder the facilities practices don't follow naturally. So, but facilities supplies are important so that their opportunity to wash hands are there. It's there. Using data, we need to be able to focus on specific school gaps, particularly water supply, which is one of those components that still need a lot of strengthening in terms of accessibility and soap availability. Now, specific washing schools provisions against COVID, and there are several of them, but I'd like to focus on particular ones. First, in terms of water, I mentioned it earlier, quantity is more important. It's important to have chlorine treatment of drinking water. There is a need for safe storage and dispensing. We need to have clean containers, and that when water is being dispensed, make sure that these are not at risk of contamination. So containers need, particularly for drinking water, needs to have faucet. We encourage the use of personal reusable bottles instead of shared drinking cups. And this one is fairly consistent with our washing schools 3-star indicators. Those who are familiar with the 3-star approach says that the very first step for providing drinking water is to ask children to bring their own water in their own water bottles from safe sources in their houses or in the communities, and that makes a lot more sense now. For personal hygiene, it's important that we provide children the opportunity to be able to wash their hands, and that means having the time and the facilities and the schedule for that. So daily supervised group hand washing to practice proper hand washing still remains very important at this point, especially if we have to drill down the proper techniques to make sure that all surfaces of the hands, especially the fingertips that are usually neglected, would be washed. There's of course the individual hand washing with soap at critical times. The ones who are familiar with this would see 5 ones, but 5 for children after using the toilet, after playing, after touching pets, then before eating or before handling anything that's put in the mouth, particularly before food preparation. That is, we may add in the school context, after cleaning, after groundskeeping, we often send our children to do gardening and cutting of grass, picking of waste. That's another critical time for hand washing. But at the same time, it's a plus. Now it's as often as they can, and the new normal, as we pointed out, is that the danger, the risk of contamination is always anywhere if we're touching anything that's contaminated. Therefore, often and always washing their hands is now a critical times. Thus, we need to be able to put hand washing facilities in strategic places, within or near toilets, within eating places, somewhere children are playing or doing their activities, even at the entrance, somewhere near the entrance of the schools would be something that would be strategic. We need to be able to deliver hygiene lessons and psycho-emotional triggers and visual cues. So we need to be able to remind children through IEC materials. We need to be able to remind children to psycho-emotional triggers. And as I said right now, it's the psycho-emotional trigger is mainly fear, but we need to be able to provide other triggers such as disgust for dirty hands, or just the feeling of cleanliness and confidence, but in having clean hands would be something we can develop in our details to enable them to wash their hands as often as possible. So the next few slides, I'm not going to discuss this, but these are actually the slides from the webinar, online webinar of the held by the DOH with support from the World Health Organization, UNICEF, and the USAID. And these are specific slides and guidelines on hand hygiene, when to perform hand hygiene. This PowerPoint presentation will be provided to everyone, so encourage you to look up this further. There's the critical times for hand washing. There's this respiratory hygiene for coughing and sneezing. Let me just note at this particular point the last two items in that enumeration. That while wearing of mask is recommended if one has respiratory symptoms, perhaps in the school setting, we see that it's best in the school setting for pupils and teachers to stay home if they have respiratory symptoms. We don't want to risk anything on that. Next is waste management. As much as possible, we want children and teachers and school staff to have to refrain from contact with anything that is that would pose any threat of contamination. And that means one way is to actually have pedal operated waste bins, yung inaapakan lang, or open waste bins. And having waste bins in strategic places like toilets, classrooms, activity areas. But aside from having these bins out there, we need to be able to dispose of them. So garbage collection by the school and disposing them somewhere. The most ideal is garbage collection by the community or by the local government unit for final disposal. In terms of sanitation, we need to improve latrines, an adequate number of clean and functional toilets, so that children would be able to properly practice proper hygiene. Then waste bins, as I said earlier, for safe disposal, particularly of menstrual hygiene products inside the toilets, tissue, including, and other things that we use for cleaning. Frequent disinfection of toilets and often touch surfaces therein, such as doorknobs, including the valve of the faucet. We need proper drainage and wastewater disposal or treatment so that any fluid that has risk of contamination can be properly disposed of. And of course, we need regular and proper dislodging of toilets. Let me add as well in terms of food safety. Those familiar with the Health and Order number 10, the Comprehensive Wash in Schools policy, would see that these are the same components therein. And at the same time, I think this is where the Philippines is actually we are proudly ahead of, is that these are the guidance from these are similarly reflected in global guidance on washing schools, and that includes food safety. And all the more that this is important, that's why we recommend proper hand hygiene for food preparers and handlers, include those in the canteens and those participating, helping out in school feeding. Masks should be worn by food handlers. We don't necessarily recommend wearing of gloves, because gloves create this false sense of security. But more important is that food handlers, food preparers are properly washing their hands. There is a need to thorough washing of eating utensils. And at best, if students, pupils, teachers can bring their personal reusable eating utensils. There's a need for physical distancing, particularly during meals. And we need one thoroughly cooked food, as has already been mentioned by Dr. Pahe earlier. In terms of environmental cleaning, there's a need for schools to prepare equipment and protective equipment for cleaners. I will show you some of the DOH regulations later on. There has to be a cleaning and disinfection schedule, and cleaning and disinfection as often as there is of often touched surfaces, such as door handles, writing desks, lunch tables, and of classrooms and toilets in general. So here, papasadahan ko lang po ito. These are the ones that are coming out from the DOH and the WHO. What are the equipment needed in schools? You can look them up. I mentioned most of them. Then, personal protective equipment for sanitary staff for schools, particularly cleaners should wear a face mask, reusable rubber gloves, a splash-proof apron, and closed shoes, rubber boots, and not sandals or slippers. For cleaning and disinfection, please look at the distinction between cleaning and disinfection. Then there was a question earlier, and this was also presented earlier, what constitutes an effective disinfectant solution? That's here. What are these cleaning and disinfecting practices? It can be there. You can look this up later on. Now, what if someone is particular? I would just particularly underline this. If someone in the building is sick. Okay, this is very applicable to schools. So it's the first step is to close off all areas used by the sick person, open outside doors and windows to increase air circulation. In principle, by the way, ventilation is very important. In proper ventilation is important, very important in infection prevention and control of COVID. Cleaning and disinfection within 24 hours. After 24 hours, this area can be vacated. And remember, of course, the following measures that I had mentioned earlier. Now, this one is for general misting and outdoor spraying. You will see the reds, the not. So, as emphasized, COVID is not an airborne virus. Let us all, it's not, it's via droplets, so they do not remain suspended in the air. So spraying is not needed at this time. In fact, spraying can cause pathogens to be dispersed further, and it can be unhealthy to both people and the environment. It should be avoided. But there can be targeted spraying for potentially contaminated areas, which may consider according to risk assessment of the level of pollution, contamination within the context, in this case, the schools. So as I mentioned already, solid waste collection is important. The commonly touched surfaces and common access roads or hallways leading to and from authorized open area public spaces which are allowed to operate, which is very applicable to schools in this case. But care must be taken to prevent direct exposure of the public to the disinfectant application. So when we're doing disinfection, the most important thing is that children and other people are not there, and whoever is doing it has protective equipment. Misting and spraying individuals has been mentioned already, is not recommended, etc. I'll leave you to look at this later. Just additional measures for schools and other community spaces. Determine staff or community members who are high risk for severe illness, particularly amongst our teachers and teaching staffs, children who are also vulnerable. Post signs, make sure the information is correct as well. Limit events and meetings within the school. So wala muna pong mga flag ceremony, na pinag-iipon-ipon yung mga bata. And this is where really we're going to be challenged, because physical distancing will be very much, as being pointed out, will be something of a normal in our schools. It's something we need to be able to devise ways and measures around. stay up to date on the developments of your community. This is where participation in DRR committees in the barangay or the municipality or province is important for the Department of Education. Create an emergency plan, and of course, bring people together who would be implementing such plan, and identify areas and identify and assess which staff and community members are at high risk and plan accordingly. Now, in terms of resources, this is where you can find more. In a hopefully in a soon within the month, I hope NEAP can already roll out the massive online open course on washing schools, which we titled Leading Wings. Practically everything you need to know on the Deaf and Washing Schools program is in there. For additional resources, if you ask, ano pong gagawin naming water source? Ano pong klaseng group hand washing facility designs pwede namin magawa at the local level? Ano pong mga posters, messages kung kailangan namin? You have the Deaf and Washing Schools website and the booklets therein. There's the link. We have 4 booklets there on water, hygiene, sanitation, and deworming. We also have this knowledge map on WASH and coronavirus. This is a global resource. It provides you with practically whatever it is that you can find across the globe that has been put out there as teaching materials, IEC materials, whatever I think you practically need, and they are all in QR codes, so they're very much easily accessible if you access that site. Then Dr. Chris pointed out earlier the WHO guidance for schools. You can also look that up. So, and then siya po muna, if there are any questions, we're very happy to.
Okay, that was the Director 4 of the Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Service, Director Ronilda Arco, and also the Director 3 of the Department of Health, Disease Prevention and Control Bureau, Dr. Sally Pahe, and Mr. John Villasenor. So to remind you of our attendance posted and evaluation links, they are now open. And also, please make it sure that the spelling of your name should be encoded correctly. Dahil doon natin kukunin yung mga certificates natin for this 5-day training sa attendance natin. So, I guess that's all. And so, let's proceed to our impressions for this 5-day training. To start, from the kindergarten level, may I call in the teacher 1 of Guadalupe Elementary School, Ma'am Febnita Bula. Good morning, ma'am.
Kita na po.
Ay, nana si ma'am ko ano. Rochelle.
Hello, ma'am. Good morning.
Hello,
Morning
ma'am.
po.
Good morning. Okay, you may proceed.
Thank you po. My courtesy to our education program supervisors around, Ma'am Gloria Sobong, our District EPS Matrix, Dr. Medos Hala, Ma'am Lourdes Navarro, to our PSDS of I Love Carmen, Sir Noli, sir, to all our school administrators, and to my co-participants in this 5-day training of teachers in learning management system, a pleasant morning. Before I get into the meat of just my quick impression, because I believe the less I talk, the less mistake I could possibly have. Allow me to share with this famous quote to everyone. A good teacher is like a candle. It consumes itself to light the way for others. I would love to believe that it's true. And I guess in this pandemic crisis that we are facing, I hope I can be a candle of my incoming kinder pupils and parents, especially that we shall be taking this road of new normal education for the first time. listening to the discussions from the day 1 to 2, topics about most essential learning competencies or MEPs, on how to navigate the LMS, which were shared to us by all competent and brilliant speakers. It caused me a little stress, feeling na ko mura kong makuyapan. And but on the day 3 to 4, I observing on the simulations done especially on what Ma'am Christine, a kinder teacher like me, did, made me a little hopeful and little excited. Because truly, LMS is an amazing platform, though it is too good to be true. But why not? I mean, when we will be ever get the chance to get little higher. Like what Ma'am Subong said, mauni ang suwak nga panginahanglanon sa ato ang mga kabataan karon. So why not to give it a try? Paningkamutan o panintiilan nato mga moms, teachers. Bisag sa bisag na naukay tang tanan sa pag-fill up pa lang sa day 1 sa ato ang attendance link. Pero para sa bata at sa bayan, kayahon nato ni nga challenge. May salute to the management team for all your efforts bisan og stress, kabalo ko stress kay tungod walay tulog sa tungod ani na training. And may salute to all of us. And my salute to all of us because I believe that we teachers are the catalyst of change. For me, LMS doesn't mean learning management system, but it is also means laban moms and sirs. Solong ilokalidad, hashtag I love Carmen. Febnita Di Bula is now signing off. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Wolf the one!
Okay, thank you so much, Ma'am Febnita Bula, Teacher 1 of Guadalupe Elementary School. Ma'am Irene? Okay, so our next...
All right.
Okay, Ma'am Irene?
Okay, thank you, Ma'am Michelle. This time, let us hear from Ma'am Giselle May E. Colonia, Teacher 1 of Minda Elementary School for the elementary level. Hello, Ma'am Giselle. Hello, Ma'am.
Hello, ma'am.
Madugod, Ma'am.
Hello,
Ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay, you may now
Yes,
proceed,
ma'am.
ma'am. Hello, ma'am.
Hello, ma'am.
Na-play mong YouTube, ma'am?
Natunggan ko, ma'am.
Yes, yes po. Na-play mo, nag-play mong YouTube, ma'am?
Wala, ma'am.
You may now proceed, ma'am.
Hello?
Yes, you may now proceed
Natunggan
po.
ko, ma'am.
Yes, yes po. Yes po.
Okay, to our division superintendent, Ma'am Didi Silva, to our assistant division superintendent, Sir Romel Handayan, to our CID chief, Sir Edward Amugis, to our district supervisor, Sir Nolity De Felipe, to all the school heads, teachers, good morning. So my task is to give my impression. So first, the LMS or the learning management system. So it is very useful because of the new normal. So we teacher can easily track the progress of our pupils. Who are those pupils who finish the course or the activity and who is halfway and who didn't even start studying. And also in LMS, we can easily combine text, images, and videos in giving instructions, assessment, and evaluations. And through the use of more engaging materials where pupils will keep their focus and learn more. Okay, and to our simulators, they give us the process on how to use the LMS, which I am very thankful. So they introduces different ways or strategies to deliver the lesson. And all I can say is, okay, thumbs up to them. So, medyo nag-struggle lang in giving instructions since marami yung estudyante dahil sa sabayang pagsasalita at sa sabayang pagbibigay ng answers. Pero para sa akin, mas okay siya kasi masasabi natin na yung mga estudyante ay nakikinig. So, and to our school heads, thank you for answering all the questions. So, klarong-klaro at ito ay makatutulong sa atin sa paghahanda sa new normal class. And I would like to share this quote according to Steve Jobs. So, design is not just what it looks like or feels like, but how it works. So, parang sa new normal, so more challenge siya, pero para sa bata, gagawin natin para makatulong sa kanila. So, that's all.
Once again, that was Ma'am Jaisopel May E. Colonia, Teacher 1 of Minda Elementary School. Now, let us proceed to the junior high school level.
Yes, Mama Irene, to give us the impression in our junior high school level, may I call in the teacher 3 of Mabuhay National High School, Ma'am Leonora D. Lacno.
Hello, good morning, everyone.
You may proceed, ma'am.
Edukalidad. We are physically isolated, but virtually connected. My salute to the people behind this 5-day webinar. To our school's division superintendent, Dr. D. Silva, our assistant school division superintendent, Dr. Romel Handayan, to our CID chief, Dr. Edward C. Amogues, to all the education program supervisors, to our public school district supervisor, Sir Noli T. D. Pilipi, sir, to our school principals in elementary and secondary, to our speakers and different topics, to the technical working group, also to our hosts, simulators, demo teachers, and students, my co-web participants. Good morning, everyone. Laban lang, teachers. Our 5-day live stream is in response to the challenges of our delivery of basic education and to magnify continuous learning in the new normal situation. This training serves as our springboard for the teaching modality in order to ensure that education will continue amidst COVID-19 pandemic. Wika pa nga na isa sa ating mga tagapagdaloy ng programa na sa unang araw natin, sabay-sabay tayong magsagwan para sa ikauunlad ng ating mga kabataan ng bayan. Tayong mga guro ang tagapagdaloy ng kaalaman ng ating mag-aaral. We keep on learning new things and be positive. Laban lang bisag gakamang ang atong internet connection. This LMS training enhance ourselves technologically. Thank you so much, DepEd Davao. Handang isip, handa bukas. Mabuhay, Carmen District Teachers. Once again, good morning.
Okay, thank you so much, Ma'am Leonora Lacno, for giving us your impression throughout the 5-day training. So, may I call in my partner,
Yes.
Ma'am Irene?
All right, Ma'am Michelle, thank you. This time, let us hear is from the senior high school level, Ma'am Loida Vallezas from Alihal National High School.
Hello. Am I heard?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Hello, a pleasant morning to all the viewers out there. Everything that started must come to an end, of course. So, whether we like it or not, we have come to the end of this week long webinar on Learning Management System, or the so called LMS. But before it happens, allow me to give my respect and, of course, my gratitude as well to the pillars of the DepEd Davnor, whose initiative and commitment in coming up with this webinar is beyond compare. Let me start with our school's division superintendent, Dr. D. Selva, assistant schools division superintendent,
Sir,
Dr. Romel M. Handayan,
five
and of
early
course,
bird, sir.
our
Around
CID
day five,
chief,
early bird.
Dr.
Day
Edward
five.
Amogues,
For
who
was
happened
after
to be
anak ko.
our principal for a short while, with his EPS in all learning areas. And of course, the special mention of the in charge of the senior high school, Dr. Grace Santa T. Daclan. Thank you is not enough for giving us this opportunity to be in this kind of webinar. And of course, I would like to also mention the initiative, the commitment, say it and they have it. Now, the cooperation, the teamwork, the Carmen school heads, headed, of course, by our PSDS, who loves Carmen so much. Sir Noli De Filipe. Sir, good morning. With all the Carmen District school heads from the elementary and high school departments. And with special mention of my school head, of course, Mr. Nestor Etronera. Sir, good morning, wherever you are right now. And of course, I would like to mention because their task, their effort was, of course, very much giving so much, what you call that, help in the success of this webinar. The host, Miss Irene Boris and Miss Michelle Gilaran, thank you so much for being there from day one to day two. And to the technical working group headed by their mother, but still very beautiful, Miss Cheryl C. Ryan. And I would like to special mention also those who are belonging to the senior high school, Sir Mikey Blancaflor, Miss Elaine Jane Aliboyog, and Mr. Reynold Hamilo. Thank you so much for the very good services that you have shared to us. And many has been said, but then nobody had mentioned about so much about the Katami people, the group where I belong actually. Ma'am Hasmin Laura of the district, and also Ma'am Antoinette Isaac, and Sir Jason Carabillo, I'm sorry, my dear handsome guys, and Rogelio Cajitas Jr. for making all those forms, Google Forms, evaluation form, attendance, and everything. No? So the work is not easy actually. And of course, I would like to mention, since this is an impression, I put my two thumbs up for those speakers in different topics because I describe them as superbly, what's this? Where's my notes? Superbly expert in their own topics, and they were, I should say, the authority in their own topics and their own fields. And of course, nowadays webinars here and there become part of our system, whether you like it or not. And obviously, this change that we are practicing right now, especially in holding these trainings like this, virtual trainings, is very different from the traditional ones, the traditional way that we were used to. But this sudden change has made everyone shocked and go crazy, including myself, because as they said, only the millennials teachers are enjoying this, but then I am trying to enjoy no matter what. Okay? However, Jose Marichan in his song, Constant Change, are you familiar with it? Emphasizes that life is a constant change and nothing stays the same. So, we've got to move along with this change brought about by the pandemic, no matter what it may take and cost us. That's why, that's what exactly what we, the teachers, are actually, especially the simulators, doing in their classes that they had presented online. So they showed how to navigate the LMS despite the difficulties they have encountered along the way until they came up with the authentic classes they have presented on screen. And this optimism and patience are actually, including, of course, are making these things possible. For this, I salute them for their bravery and the willingness to accept the challenge on behalf of their respective levels. But then, I would like to please allow me to mention them one by one. I have my list here. The simulators from Senior High School, Janice Umalubay of La Paz, Josephine B. De Villeres of Carmen, all from National High Schools, okay? Ria L. Olasiman of Tubod, Emily Pineda of Carmen, Zerlin Gonzalo of La Paz, Venus Kabakang of Tubod again, and Aris Gamino from Anibungan. So thank you so much, teachers, simulators, for showing us, all of us, the participants, that things can be done when we really do it with gusto. We have to do things with gusto or else we'll be on stress. And to everyone, congratulations for having completed the whole webinar this week. Again,
All right. Okay. I guess nag-loading pa si ma'am. Okay, all right, that was Ma'am Loida Belieses, Master Teacher 2 of Alihal National High School. Thank you so much, ma'am. And once again, thank you to those teachers who gave their impression for this one-week training. Okay, ma'am. Okay ka lang?
Yes, putol-putol yung net.
Okay,
Hindi
so
na-
this time, okay, this time we're going to announce, Ma'am Irene, right?
Yes.
The top 10, those who got the post test perfectly.
Okay, top 10
Right.
scorer for the post test. But before that,
Okay,
let us have our early birds for day 5. Day 5 early birds. Let us start with elementary level. We have Ma'am Alba Amor from La Paz Elementary School, Ma'am Cadayona Elisa from Santo Niño Elementary School, Ma'am Ramos Excel Leia from Santo Niño Elementary School, Colonia Gispel May from Minda Elementary School, and Tortuga Luce from Tubud Elementary School. Congratulations! This time, let us proceed to the secondary level. Ma'am Michelle?
Okay, so for the secondary level, top 5 early birds, congratulations to Infiesto Rubilin from Alihal National High School, Labayan Sarah May from Carmen National High School. Medyo blurred na siya, no? Bade.
Wade.
Jane Maridel Tubod from Tubod National High School. Cabais Christine from Alihal National High School. Libres Crystal from Carmen National High School.
All right, this time, let us have our Carmen District overall early birds. We have, yes, Ma'am Michelle?
Okay. Wow, my co-teacher, Ma'am Amor Alba from La Paz Elementary School, Cadayona Elisa from Santo Niño Elementary School, Ramos Excel Leia from Santo Niño Elementary School, Colonia Chespel May from Minda Elementary School, and Infiesto Rubilin from Alihal National High School.
Yes, congratulations, ma'am, sa mga early birds, elementary, secondary, and of course, the overall early birds of Carmen District. This time, we now proceed to the top 10 perfect scorers for the post-test. Wow! Mong kauban ma'am sa SPED, top 1, si Jolly May M. Bungabong from Carmen Central Elementary School SPED Center. And of course, Eileen H. Magalso from Junior High School, Alihal National High School. We have Ma'am Mary Grace E. Manligues, elementary teacher, Tubod Elementary School. We have Ma'am Marilyn Ismalia, senior high school teacher from Carmen National High School. We have Ma'am Cherry Ann A. Grancho, senior high school of Alihal National High School. Proceed, Ma'am Michelle.
Okay, we have here Esther U. Biclar, elementary teacher from Alihal Elementary School. Ma'am Versi Lonzaga Estabaya, junior high school teacher from Carmen National High School. Benito Cristabel R., junior high school teacher from Carmen National High School. Christine S. Matunhay, kindergarten teacher from Abaos Elementary School. And Zoilo Magdalena A., elementary teacher from Tubod Elementary School. So once again, congratulations.
Congratulations, teachers. This time, all right. This time, let us hear a message from our CID Chief Division of Davao del Norte, Dr. Edward C. Amugis. Hello, sir. Good morning.
Medyo nawala daw si Sir Chief.
Okay. Proceed po tayo kay Sir Nolly. Oh, dili na mawala si Sir Nolly. Our School District Supervisor, I love Carmen Nolity Di Felipe. Welcome back, sir.
Okay, thank you. Good morning once again. Thank you to our two hosts over there, Ma'am Mitch and Ma'am Irene. Isa lang ni Karong din. Sabaan kayo yung mic. Sige. Once again, good morning to our dear participants, teachers of I Love Carmen, both elementary and secondary, our school heads, wherever you are situated at the moment. Once again, good morning. So first of all, I would like to congratulate everyone for having survived for the 5-day webinar on LMS for our district. So I am hoping and praying that all our teacher participants were able to get additional insights for you to help yourselves in delivering our new mode of giving instructions to our students, to our students. And hoping also that the insights that you gain out of this 5-day webinar will be of use sa inyong tanan. Unta nindot ang iyang pagkagamit, unta makatabang segdako, especially to cater our students. And we are constantly reminding you teachers that our LMS is not intended only for our online classes if ever na mga estudyante opted to have online classes. Remember that LMS will serve as one of your references for you to deliver effective instructions to our students. So that's it. And of course, dili na ko pwede makalimtan ang pagpasalamat. My big thanks to the members of the technical working group for their effort in preparing and most especially in having this 5-day webinar a successful one. Although there are circumstances na beyond their control, but then ipangitaan og pamaagi. I read the post of Ma'am Cheryl kaganyang buntag tungod kay nawala ang ilahang signal ni kalit og balhin medyo nagpadagan og 180 per hour, kilometer per hour. So inana ka maaptikon ang ato ang mga members sa technical working group headed by of course Sir Mike Blanca Flor, members na sila diya si Ma'am Che, sila ni Ma'am Jessa ug tanan-tanan pa nga members and mga ICT coordinators of our district both elementary and secondary, sila ni Sir Lloyd so salamat kay sa inyong effort. Of course, our host no for this 5 day, Ma'am Irene, Ma'am Michelle, ang atuang host during our breakout session, Sir Jomel, and the other one from Alihal, no, from Alihal High School. Medyo nakalimutan ko yung kanyang pangalan. Thank you sa inyong lahat. No, thank you for the very good job being done. No? Well done. So again and again, our teachers of I Love Carmen, August 24 is fast approaching. No, dool na kayo. Today is August 7. There are 14 days more to go. Then we will start already our school year if ever. No, if ever madayon jud siya by August 24. No, uh, the giving of instructions to our dear respective students will start. No? So, hoping that everyone is now on the process of preparing, no? Hoping that the things that we need to have before August 24 na plastar na ang tanan, no? Hoping also that kung bawal man magkasakit noong mga nakaraang school year as we start the first day of our classes, the same this time, no? Sana nasa good health tayo palagi. Remember that our health is our topmost priority. So once again, good morning. My commendation to the members of the technical working group, no? You will be having your bonus for your lunch maybe this time. No, mag PM lang ako kung or mag-post lang ako sa GC if ever available na yung for your additional budget no para sa inyong meals para sa inyong meal for your lunch and for your snacks this afternoon. So again, thank you to the school heads for supporting this activity, no? So thank you very much. Good morning once again. Thank you.
Okay. That was our Public Schools District Supervisor, I Love Carmen, Sir Nolly T. De Felipe. And now, let's have our closing remarks. May I call in our Chief of the Curriculum and Implementation Division, Dr. Edward C. Amugis. Hello,
Okay,
sir.
thank you, Michelle, and thank you, Irene. Closing remarks na pala ako ngayon, no? Okay, so I said I'm back, no? I'm back to I Love Carmen, and thank you so much for the time that you have been spending for the last 5 days of the training. So I commend Carmen District, headed by Mr. Nole De Felipe, for this, for following our schedule. So salamat, Sir Noli, no? And I also feel the love of your supervisor to your district, no? In Carmen District. Particularly our school heads who have been still watching right now. Okay, kaway-kaway dyan, mga school head, wherever you are. So kung saan man tayo ngayon, kaway-kaway naman dyan. And also to our teachers, no? Ang bida natin sa school year 2020-2021, ang ating mga guro. Kaway-kaway dyan, mga guro. Okay? So, salamat ng marami dahil andyan pa rin kayo, no? Hindi nyo kami iniwan sa ating broadcast at sa ating webinars. Salamat kasi you still have that your motivation, no? Although wala kami diyan sa bahay ninyo, nandiyan lang kayo sa lugar kundi adunay internet connections or even you are at home or in the school, but we really empower you because you are in charge of yourself and you know what is right, you know what is wrong, okay? Now, thank you again to our technical working group, have been working so much, working so hard, for the success of this webinar. And we have Mikey, si Mikey. We have also Cheryl and Lloyd, Bravo, and all of the technical working group na hindi ko na-mention, no? Kasama din pala dito si, ano, yun yung sa New Kamiling, no? I forgot the name. Okay? And to our MC, si Irene at saka si Michelle. At saka lahat ng mga tao na tumutulong, si Reynold, no? Na tumutulong para sa ating sa success ng ganito activity. Okay? Now, I would like to sabi ko kanina, I heard the message of Noli, no? Now, yun talaga, no? Kami sa division office, yun talagang pray namin that this coming school year, no? Lahat tayo, no? Mag-pray tayo that this school year will be successful. Kasi yun man talaga ang gusto ng ating superintendent, ng ating director at ng ating secretary, that we really have to ensure, no, that education takes place despite of this pandemic, no? So kailangan talaga natin na i-work natin na maging successful ang ating opening. Okay, with your help, no, ang ating mga supervisor ay yun talaga ang mga hopes namin, no, despite of this situation. Now, for the last 3 days, we were monitoring the dry run activities of our schools, no, and the different modalities. Now, I also commend those schools who really have that intervention, no, because in our division or even all schools throughout the country, our means of learning is module. However, there are interventions na in order to attain those modules, because that modules itself hindi kaya na maano ng bata yan, no? If you observe during your classes doon sa face-to-face, meron pa tayong problema sa mga bata na hindi nakakaintindi. How much more pag sila lang doon sa bahay. Kung meron mang mother na makakatulong, mas maganda, no? But the majority of our learners na walang makakatulong sa kanila. Kung meron man siyang parents pero nagtatrabaho din, no? So I think that the parents can have time for their children during night time. Pero ilan lang yung oras sa gabi. Matutulog na rin yung mga bata, di ba? So there are interventions set by our school heads para ma-attain yung modules, no? So meron talagang mga interventions, and that in our schools na monitor namin, so may mga intervention. And that will also be presented to the group, no, to our school heads, to our teachers, those interventions, so that other schools also can pilot that one or can benchmark that one. If you think that it's feasible in your school, so pwede natin i-implement yan, no? Now, siguro, kailangan din natin na kung ano yung mga ginagawa ng mga school, kailangan natin sundin yon. As long as nakakatulong sa learning ng ating mga bata. And definitely, meron tayong mga interventions na kaya natin i-implement doon sa ating eskwelahan, no? Para ma-assure natin na laging successful yung learning ng ating mga bata. That is our prayer that successful yung learning ng bata, no? Kahit na face-to-face tayo, doon talaga, no? How much more ngayon? Now, we are really expecting that our learners will be happy while they are facing their modules or while they are reading the modules. So, the modules that they will be receiving, no? I know your district has already been reproduced the modules, no? Because during our in our group chat, always Carmen district nangunguna yan, no? Nangunguna talaga si Carmen noon pa, no? When I was still a supervisor in mathematics, I know how Carmen performed better, no? So, I think it's because of our teachers. Mabuhay mga teachers at saka sa ating mga school heads, no? Kahit sino yung ilagay natin dyan ng mga district supervisor, always on the top talaga si Carmen, because of the support of your mayor, si Ma'am Jing Perandos, no? Our municipal mayor. So I hope Ma'am Jing is watching right now, no? So Ma'am Jing, thank you so much sa imong suporta to our district, no? To our district schools, to our teachers, and to our learners, no? It is an advantage for our department that we have a mayor who has been once upon a time chief no of the SGOD and a teacher and a principal. So that is our advantage. So kahit na hindi taga-DepEd yung mayor natin sa Carmen, ganun pa rin yun yung support ng LGU at saka ng ating mga teachers, no? Kasi kailangan talaga yung support ng ating mga teachers. We cannot, hindi natin masasabi na successful ang learning natin pag hindi nagko-cooperate ang mga teachers. So, bida talaga si teachers dito. So, kaya nga, we are so very grateful to our teachers, to our principals, for always there, no, na you always support the department para ma-achieve natin yung goal natin, para ma-achieve natin yung vision at the mission ng ating department, no? So, to our teachers, continue doing good, no? So, whatever you think that is that can contribute to your learning, no? Nakakatulong yan sa ano ninyo, sa knowledge ninyo. So, yun ang gawin ninyo, no? Kung mayroon mga invitation ng mga webinars na kailangan natin mag-join kasi kailangan din natin yan for our professional growth. So, it has also joined that one. Okay? So, I am happy that today is Friday and we are done already. All the districts had already been cascaded their training. So, that's an achievement of the division office that all the districts in our division have finished the webinar already on the learning management system. So I would like to reiterate my message during your first day and the message of Mr. Noli De Filipe that we will not only confine on the LMS, no. So there's a lot of websites on which we can access so that we can also gain more knowledge, no, doon sa ating para maituro natin sa ating mga bata. Okay? So with this, I will say thank you so much and mabuhay kayo, Carmen District. Solong Edukalidad.
Yes, thank you so much. Once again, that was our CID Chief, Dr. Edward C. Amugis. Thank you so much, sir, for your message. And this time, Michelle, may we call in live on screen our technical working group head, Leonard Mike Blanca Flor. Hello, Sir Mikey. How's your Minnie Mouse? Please turn on your mic. Nakalimot naman hinoon ka. Charot.
Hi.
Hello, sir. You may now proceed, Sir Mike.
Dari akong buhaton.
Ambot sa imo, uy. Charot. Ganong hayag kay kamra kag hindi ha.
Introduce na ako kung mga kauban. Kay,
ikaw na dapat sa screen, sir.
Ha?
Ikaw na dapat sa screen. Full na nimo imong screen.
Uy. Sige,
bago pa kang matano.
Introduce na ako kung mga kauban. Kay mamani sila ang gabi jud ka ka supportive sa to ang webinar sessions no. Bagon sa nako pinakauna to ang si teacher si Ma'am Cheryl Kasarayon. Ma'am, say balita diya murag nag-lunch break na gunahon na si Ma'am.
Nangan hinay mapud kay kabutangi pog energy imong inistoryahan ba. Sama na uy, yaman kaayo.
Sunod kay si Ma'am si Ma'am Jesha.
Si Jesha. Sir Mikey.
Hi.
Hinay kay dito.
Kumusta na mo diha?
Sir Jonal.
Sige murag na si Ma'am Cheryl. Ma'am Che.
Yes, sir.
Ay, nadiat ng mga kaubanan sa Hi, mga teachers. Hindi na ako i-full screen ay kay para at least natay interactions ba.
Yes, sir. Pamakita.
Sige.
Yes. On behalf sa all school ICT coordinators of Carmen District, thank you kaayo sa tanan Then, special to Sir Noli Di Filipi and the 21 school heads of Carmen District. Thank you kaayo sa inyong suporta sa amo. Without you, dili magpalampuso ng atong activity karon. And also, thank you sa tanang simulators nga ning dawat jud sa among invitation nga sila mamahimo og kanang mag-demo sila. Okay, thank you kaayo sa tanan.
Tama di ay si Sir Noli. Sir, salamat jud kayo sa inyong support. Salamat po sa imong sponsorship, sa imong effort.
Salamat. May istoryahan na gud na si Jessa. Si Jessa pag-istorya.
Ma'am Jess, kasi na kay kastorya. Sige na, istorya na na.
Istorya na. Nakita
Food and thank you.
Nabaya daw kay bonus. Nabaya daw yung mga puntay daw, mga bonus daw. Additional daw sa budget. Na daw eh.
Salamat
Mga panty na may diya ha?
Jessa, kana sa imong likod, di ba, na siya proud fiancé here. Palangga.
Ay, sige na, oy, magtingin na tag-video, dagkag ka.
Sana all palangga.
Sinsya jud kayo, kay dili ko hadog mga speech. Amo na lang speech para sa kuha.
Sige na, sir.
Halata man kayo.
Again, no, good afternoon, mga participants. Allow us to present a video presentation regarding sa mga experience namo sa pag-handle sa 5-day webinar sessions sa ato ang presentation or product presentation of the learning management system. So, allow us to present this one, at least makita ninyo tanang experiences sa mga TWGs, simulators, or tanang tao na involved sa for the success of this 5-day webinar session. Okay? So, Ma'am Jess, i-share screen na. Ay na pagdugay-dugay.
Opo.
Share screen na.
Mana, oy.
Full screen po siguro, no?
Mana, okay na.
Okay, play. I-off sa inyong mga mic. I-off inyong mic.
Hear the word. Hear the word.
Simong tayo, ma'am.
Salamat kayo sa
Simong tayo.
inyong time, sa inyong hard work, everything. We'll see each other again tomorrow. Stay tuned. And, yun lang. Tama ba yun? Salamat kayo, ma'am.
Simong time, sa effort.
Guys.
Okay, so mga na to. Kisa may gusto mag-closing na para maka-abante na mi diha ila Ma'am Jessa kay mga on mi.
Okay, for a while, sir, we would like again to thank you, our technical working group headed by our handsome Leonard Mike Blancaflor, Ma'am Cheryl Ryan Jessa, May Casinillo, Ervin Ray Abao, Nori May Escaparte, Lloyd Bravo, Archel Cuyos, and Elaine Jane Alibuyog, Reynold Hamilo. Ayan. Thank you so much sa inyong tanan, sa inyong effort. Sige, balik si Jessa sa iyong effort. Thank you so much sa time nga spend. Thank you sa mga nagluto diha, Sir Jomel. I hope imong pansit mas lami pa sa imong ex, ha? Thank you so much. Of course, I would like also to thank Sir Noli T. Felipe, our supervisor, Ma'am Teresita Bibu Talid, Ma'am Charlene Odani, our librarian, division librarian, nga pa-allow me diri paggamit sa wifi ug sa iyahang time diri ayang place diri. With Ma'am Ellen Umpok nga akong kauban sa matag adlaw sa among chika-chika charot. Grade 5 family, hello. Ma'am Ligaya Trabado, dili na nako i-mention tanan. Grade 2, SPED family, Lori Ligalo, thank you so much sa gipahiram nimo nga ring light para muputi akong now sa screen. Thank you so much. Kinsa pa ba? Og sa tanan-tanan, school heads, both elementary and secondary, thank you so much ug sa tanang bisita. Yes, Ma'am Michelle?
Yes, I would like to thank as well, balik-balik no, my co-teachers in Pinta Sabarat Elementary School, headed by Sir Eduardo Culingco, and also my SPED family as well in Carmen District, headed by Ma'am Lorelai Galo. Hello po sa lahat ng mga nunood na SPED, sa magsaysay din na SPED, sila Janet, sila Ma'am Janet, sila Ma'am Jinky. Hello, hello. And also sa mga kasamahan ko rin, Tagalog, sa mga kasamahan ko rin sa ADM or sa module, like sila Ma'am Rochelle, si Ma'am Jovelyn Sarusad, si Ma'am Christine, hello, Christine Hope, kung nanonood kayo. And of course, to Dr. Alan Gilaran, if you are watching, hello, ma'am. And isa pa ba? I guess ka na lang.
Nadi ko nalimtan. Hello, Besh Rochelle. Thank you also. Sa tanan, thank you. So before we end, as educators, students, and professionals, we're experiencing huge change and uncertainty at the moment. However, the importance of education remains consistent. So stay connected, keep on learning, and embrace the different new normal modalities. Sulong edukalidad. Ma'am Michelle?
Okay, Mama Irene. So now let's go to our closing. We have our closing prayer, right, by an audio-visual presentation.
Ay na.
Okay. Okay, Ma'am Irene, Sir Mikey, and Ma'am Cheryl. Wait lang, naku, nalimtan og greet.
Napod.
I would like to greet Ninang Che, Ma'am Michelle Lago, hello, and Kuya Bob Lago, hello. Ala.
Ako kay gusto na ko pasalamatan ako ang
Me
principal.
too.
Principal na si Ma'am Dr. Lordeline Iboyo. Ma'ams, salamat kayo sa imong pagsabot with regards sa akong responsibility sa school. Kay of course kanang gusto jud kayo i-divide ang imong priorities no pagkuan kay murag na prioritize man gud nako ang akong webinar gud mo na wala na nako na atiman ng mga responsibility sa school pero I assure you after this this next week will be another productive na pod sa mga sa akong
Yes, Sir Mike.
Moro to no,
Yes.
shout out po ko sa kong mga sa akong master teacher si Ma'am Cathy Quamag and si Sir Dante Sarusat. Salamat kasi inyong understanding with regards ako ang IPCRF. Sila Joy ni Atiman og usually salamat po di ay Sir Lloyd sa imong tabang with regards ako IPCRF. Thank you. Okay, napay lain.
Ako na po.
Go ma'am.
Okay, shout out sa Alihal Elementary School headed by Ma'am Principal, very beautiful, Ma'am Rochelle R. Capon. Hi, Ma'am. Magkita na taog next week sa IPCR. And shout out to all ICT coordinators of Carmen District. Thank you kaayo sa inyong help. And also to my Fabs family, Lisel, Brenda, Linlen, Lani, and to all my HRD coordinators, school coordinators. Hi! Yun lang.
Sabay-sabay siguro ta mag-out in 5.
All right. So, Michelle, go.
Okay, so but before that one, and above all, let's thank God for how He sustained us throughout the whole duration
Thank you, Lord.
of our webinar, and also in spite of the internet connection problems, and also sa mga raining times, thank God for really sustaining each one of us. And I would like also to thank my co-plenary host, Ma'am Irene. Thank you for being so kind and for being so good and for the friendship. And sa mga TWG din, ang friendship din. Like this is Sir Mikey, Ma'am Cherry, Ma'am Jessamy, and the rest. Thank you so much. Okay, so I guess I will say this quote, Ma'am Irene. Let me end this day by quoting the saying of Bill Gates. Technology is just a tool in terms of getting the kids to work together and motivating them. The teacher is the most important. So you all teachers are important. This live stream will end in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.